Pair another star with Jimmy Butler. Russell Westbrook on line 2. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin, Tuesday at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
I don't think I've ever looked forward to a show less. Been doing this for 20 years.
Yeah.
And absolutely love what I do. Have fun just about every day. But I didn't get a good sleep last night.
Why do you say that, Brent?
I'm going to throw up in my mouth this whole show, most likely.
Why do you say that, Brent?
Because I really can't believe Tiger made a 10 on the 12th hole.
Yeah, what do you even call that? Like, what's the phrasing for that?
I think it's called a sextuplet.
Yeah.
I think something like that.
So
Sextuplet.
So it's a sextuplet bogey, is what you'd call that?
Yeah, but it's yeah, I think so.
Huh.
I think that's what I read.
Hey, Kuz, have you ever shot a sextuplet bogey? Because I haven't.
Oh yeah,
I have.
Oh, okay.
Oh, for sure have.
Yeah, maybe I have.
Austin just hasn't played enough.
Yeah. Well, hey, I'm just saying Tiger Woods has shot one, and I haven't shot one. Now, am I a better golfer than Tiger Woods? No, but I haven't shot one before.
I had an 11 recently at Timuquana. I remember tweeting that out. I think it was an 11.
Yeah.
Because I also feel like I've had a 13 in the last couple of years. Hey, got to count them all.
Got to count them all. Yeah.
And by the way, just like Tiger that day, I got to 11. It was a par 5. The reason I got to 11 is I put a whole sleeve in the drink as well.
Ah.
I could not believe Tiger did that. And then it was awesome, the back nine. It was maybe the most entertaining 9-hole stretch Tiger Woods has ever had, and he didn't even come close to winning. And he has won 5 green jackets, and it might be his most entertaining 9-hole stretch ever at Augusta. Like, I think you could make the argument.
Sure.
All right, we're not starting the show with Tiger Woods. How about your guy, Kyler Murray?
Oh, Brent.
For all the Arizona people listening, for
Brent.
everyone in the desert, say hello to Kyler Murray.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
Oh, wait a minute. Did he catch? No. How about DeAndre Hopkins?
Whoa. Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins. It's a good play. All right, it's a decent play. He was triple teamed, and I'll give him that. All right, it's DeAndre Hopkins, though. All right, he's got the height advantage, all this stuff. Can we talk about Kyler Murray going against the grain, falling backwards, and dropping an absolute dime right where it had to be to DeAndre Hopkins? And listen, and yes, I saw your tweets yesterday, tweeting about Daniel Jones having a rushing touchdown. And don't even lie, I know how you operate, Brent. I guarantee, because, I had to snap back a little bit. I had to bring some receipts and snap back at you.
Like 4 hours later.
Yeah, but I guarantee, though, you had that tweet set up, well, at least the Giants won yesterday. I guarantee that was on the docket. I guarantee it was on your docket. And then what happens? The Hail Mary of all Hail Marys. I mean, hey, with all due respect to Michael Thomas and Dave Garrard, I was a part of that one, but you got to give it to my guy, Kyler Murray, man. An absolute just missile to DeAndre Hopkins.
It was, I will say this. I'm a Kyler Murray hater.
Yeah,
you
are.
made me into that.
That is what it is.
You have made me into that. Probably the nicest young man ever. Very talented guy. If he played baseball for the Boston Red Sox, I'd probably have jerseys of him. But you've made me hate Kyler Murray. That's what happens. Like,
yeah.
I was sick to my stomach last night. Like, I was a Bills fan.
Yeah,
Like,
sure.
I wanted to go jump through a table. And I didn't even care who won the game.
Yeah.
But I am rooting so hard against Arizona.
Yep.
It's unbelievable.
First place, by the way, right now.
By the way, it was – I tried to sell it to Ty. I was like, come on, Ty. It's all about the catch, man. I mean, he caught him within 3 guys.
Ty knows.
And he looked at me like, yeah, good luck selling that.
Yeah, exactly. I see you, Ty, man. Because Ty knows, Brett. Like, listen, it was a fantastic catch, but the ball had to get there in the first place, and that's due to Kyler Murray.
It was reminiscent of Rodgers in that same play. Did you see the highlight?
Yeah, absolutely,
it's the same
of course.
Aaron Rodgers Hail Mary.
Brett, did I see the highlight? I watched the entire game, obviously.
No,
yes.
I mean the Aaron Rodgers one, though.
No, for sure.
Like the Aaron Rodgers highlight, he in that same stadium is where one of the Hail Marys that he delivered happened. And he was actually on that kind of side of the field going against his body a bit, not as much near the sideline, but he was almost getting hit at the same time, if you go back and watch that. And so it just showed the arm strength of those guys and the ability to get over there right near the edge of the sideline by Murray. So it was an incredible play. It may have changed. Some people think the MVP vote or MVP race.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd go that far.
Yeah, well, Russell Wilson got beat again.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
And now it creates what a situation in the NFC West. I mean, I love you, Jacksonville, but right now I wish we lived out west because that would be fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be fun to come in here and do a show at 6-3, 6-3, and 6-3. I mean, heck, go to the L.A., go to Arizona, go to Seattle.
Yeah.
Now, you got stuff happening there. I'm just going to go move out there for the next couple months.
Well,
can we just put our show out there for a couple months?
I'm telling you, man, ESPN 690 Arizona. I'm like, we've seen the Kyler Murray bump before, Brent. Let's go and get these ratings. Let's go and get these views. Now, and I can't believe that Kyler Murray's not a title of our show sequence. Coos, that's on you. I'll have a chit-chat with you a little later, my friend. But with that being said, it is kind of a bittersweet moment, right? Because I woke up this morning, my food tasted better, my sleep was better, the sun felt a little better, just an overall good day. But it's bittersweet. And it's bittersweet now, Brent, because the train has officially left the station, and you didn't get on it, right? You defended Daniel Jones week in and week out, and unfortunately the Kyler Murray bandwagon, after last night's showing, it's left the station. And there's nothing I can tell you, man. Like, if it's gone, you missed out. I hate to see it. I apologize to you. But unfortunately, I'm driving this I'm captaining this ship, and you didn't get on, man. I'm sorry to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna live and die on this hill, man. I feel like plenty of hills.
You're dying. I wouldn't call it living.
But I can't wait till the league catches up with Kyler next year.
Frank.
That's exactly what's happening to the guy who played last night. Although he played in a bunch of rain, but
Yeah.
they are catching up to him.
Yeah. Well, and listen, we've been over this many times, Brent. All right. Next year, Kyler Murray, you aren't going to hear a peep from me about Kyler Murray next year, and that's going to spite you. I understand it's going to make you upset, but the only reason I'm talking so much Kyler Murray right now, because he's the captain of my fantasy football team, I think second place football team right now. I'm sorry that you're the consolation bracket. But with that being said, man, I'm going to have fun right now while I can. And then next year, Kyler, we'll see you later.
Well, maybe we should play a keeper league so you're stuck with him.
I mean, if that's the case, then so be it. I'll go and hedge that bet if I have to.
So the Jaguars play on Sunday.
Yeah.
And here we are talking Kyler Murray in the first segment.
It's the power. Yep.
It is the power of Kyler Murray. It's the lack of power of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hey, put it in the E column.
Yeah.
And put it in the L column.
God.
W,
Here we
win.
go again.
L, loss.
Here we go again.
Entertaining. Hey, it's an L and an E.
See, this is all you have against me, isn't it? Like, you had to try to balance me out a little bit. I had my Kyler Murray moment, and now you're bringing up the E word again. And you know how I feel about the E word, Brent.
Yeah, I got nothing. So, I mean, I don't know, know what this is balancing it out. I don't have anything right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. So, but that's what it was. It was an entertaining game.
No,
played their guts out, man. I mean, they played hard. They played good football.
No, without a doubt. And I'll be honest with you, man, it was an entertaining game. Now, I think, from like the stats and that, like, I mean, yeah, there was a lot of 3-and-outs and there was a lot of bad offense for a while, but it was an entertaining game for Jaguars fans just because of who they were playing, right? They're playing the Green Bay Packers, one of the best teams in the NFC, going against one of the best quarterbacks in all of football right now. And let's be honest, this Jaguars defense that has been gashed and gashed and gashed, they showed up a little bit yesterday. And while you know how I feel about losses, and I know how you feel about losses, I'm sure you're celebrating. That's probably why you weren't even texting me or you weren't even tweeting about the game the whole time, because you're nervous because the Jaguars are actually going to win and then obviously lose the Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields sweepstakes. But, with that being said, though, I do think that there is a lot of positive to take away from it. I think Devon Hamilton had a heck of a game. I think Miles Jack right now playing at an all-pro level. So while it was still a loss, and I'm still bummed about that, I think going forward, there's a lot of positives to take away from it.
Well, I've got good news for you. See, I wasn't as nervous about the win. First of all, I didn't think the Jags were going to win. I mean, you got Aaron Rodgers on the other side. If they didn't score on that one possession, I probably would have gotten nervous a little bit, since we really don't want to slide back to the 5th or 6th draft pick around here.
Yeah.
But I also am not that nervous because I think actually the Jags are going to win another game along the way. And I actually think they are going to have a buffer to win another game along the way. If you watch, the Giants ended up winning, and so now they have 3. The other teams with 2 losses that would fit in the category, just keep in mind Cincinnati has a tie, so that they don't necessarily fit in this category right now. The Chargers, well, the Jags lose a tiebreaker to the Chargers. Houston, Jags lose a tiebreaker to Houston. And then that leaves you with Washington and Dallas. Well, they have to play each other. So only one of those teams, and actually a tie there would be great because that would eliminate both of them. But the Jags actually could get to 2 wins and still pick second as long as Washington and Dallas win another game. Whoever loses that game has to win one more. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So I think the Jags are going to win another game. I think that's what they've proved the last 2 weeks. I think they coached their butt off yesterday. I think they played their butt off yesterday. I think that defense had its best outing. I think whatever changes, too late, of course, in the year, that they made at the bye week have worked on the defensive side of the football. And I think we're seeing young guys play well, playing a little bit more consistent. The offense has taken a bit of a step back at times because you put a rookie quarterback in, and you're going to get the ups and downs of a rookie quarterback. If Gardner Minshew plays that game, a healthy Gardner Minshew, I think they might win that game.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they win the game. I think Luton had moments, but he also had the other moments.
Sure.
And that's what you're going to get. That's not on him. I'm not saying he lost the game. I just think there's a difference between a guy playing in his second game ever in the NFL than a guy like Minshew who would have been making his 20-something start. But that's the kind of game Minshew, I think, could win for you. And by the way, as you're thinking of that, that's the kind of game, that's why people around here are okay with the first or second pick, because that's the kind of game, 24-20, 27-25 last week, that the franchise quarterback that you might be drafting wins for you. They have 2 extra wins right now, most likely, if they have Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields, in my opinion.
And one could think, would they have that win with Minshew if he was in there?
I do think so, yeah.
Listen, there's a reason why you play the game in the first place, right? Because anything can happen on that field every Sunday. And I'm sure that guy that bet $90,000 in the Packers to win, was sweating a little bit, right? Sweating a little bit for $9,000. With that being said, though, Brent, you said this team could win another game, right? I think right now it's pretty much safe to say the Jets. I think Joe Flacco starting another week here. The Jets are probably going to be getting Trevor Lawrence. Now, crazier things have happened, but I think the Jets are so far ahead of everybody else in terms of how bad they are. I see the Jets getting the number 1 pick. But you said it yourself. This team could win another game here. Steelers, Browns, Vikings, Titans, Ravens, Bears, and the Colts. Which game out of that slate do you like the best for the Jaguars to possibly win?
Oh, I've already got – I think Chicago is the game to win. And I also don't know where Indy will be at that time. I think you have to take – we've been around the NFL long enough that we know those games don't always mean much. And so right now the Colts would be sitting in maybe the 3 position in the playoffs. And so they would be playing the first week of the playoffs because the first team gets a bye, and that's obviously Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And so I think without question you wonder if Indy would play everybody if they've already clinched the AFC South at that time. And so I think Indy comes to play, and just because the Jags match up so well with Indy.
They seem to, yeah.
Yeah, they just seem to. So, but I do think that Chicago game. And by the way this football team played, guess who else they play really good against traditionally?
The Bears.
No.
Oh, I don't.
Pittsburgh.
Oh, Pittsburgh. Oh,
Pittsburgh.
I got you. See, that's like on my radar right now just because they're undefeated,
Listen, the Steelers are 9-0. The Steelers are the best team in the AFC. They've proven.
Sure, absolutely.
The Steelers are very good.
Yep.
But this is the NFL, man. Green Bay is way better than 4 points better than the Jags.
Correct.
Way better. And so Pittsburgh couldn't come in here easily and lose this game. I just spent the last week telling you that they don't have a chance against Green Bay. Guess what? They had a chance. They had multiple chances against Green Bay. And they didn't even play that clean of a football game, especially on the offensive side. So, yeah, I think we can't pinpoint the game they're going to get is the thing. I'm not predicting them to beat Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm just warning everybody out there that they are going to win another game. Like, the Jags will win another game. So if you're in this camp, which so many are, you have to root for Washington and Dallas to win again. That's it, though. That's all it takes. The Chargers can keep their 2 wins. The Bengals can keep their 2 wins. The Texans can keep their 2 wins. You are rooting now for the Washington football team, who, by the way, continues to play pretty inspired football, and Alex Smith looked pretty good yesterday. They almost pulled that one out, down 24-3. And you need the Cowboys to pull off a win along the way. So if those 2 teams win, the Jaguars, even if they win another, will at least still be locked into that second spot. But I'm telling you, man, I will almost, not going to put my house on it, but I would bet significant amount of dollars that the Jaguars will win a game the rest of this year.
So when we talk about winning a game, too, and I was reading an article by John Shipley today a little bit, Minshew's back throwing, but he's not going to be ready for the Steelers game. If you're the organization right now, do you go with Minshew going forward? But whenever he comes back, whether that's in another week or so, 3 weeks, whenever he's ready to go, do you go with Minshew or do you stay with Luton? Because let's be honest here. Minshew gives you the best chance to win. And I think that if you're Doug Marrone, well, obviously that's what you're looking for right now because he even said it himself. He hates to lose, and unfortunately I can't repeat what he said with the quote, but let's just say that he hates losing, right? And I think that if you're Shad Khan, well, maybe you're embracing maybe that first or second pick in the draft. So do you think that they go back to Minshew or do they stay with Luton?
I'm having a hard time figuring this out, man. I just tweeted before the show about a half hour ago, and it's still the most baffling. It's not like the most baffling thing I've ever seen. It's very baffling, though. I still, I'm reading or I'm listening to Doug and him talking about Minshew, and he might start throwing this week. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, it's been 3 weeks since he was diagnosed, and now he might pick up a football and start throwing, which means he's done nothing for the last 2.5 to 3 weeks. Yet he played with fractures in his hand for 3 weeks, and nobody knew. Yeah. Nobody knew. Good English. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me, and so I don't know what's going on. I'm having a hard time reading it. I believe they go back to Minshew. I think they'll go back to Minshew, but it's pretty guaranteed now. Well, they're not going back to him this week, and I don't think they're going back to him Thanksgiving week. So I thought you'd probably get a 3-game tryout for Luton, and I thought it would end against Pittsburgh. I actually think it's going to continue against the Browns, and now we turn the calendar to December, and we see if Minshew will play again. I just don't have a good feel for it right now. The mystery behind this injury in terms of the timing of it all is just baffling. So I don't have a good read on it, but I do think they do go back to him. Do you think they'll go back to him at all?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, the former player in me wants to say absolutely, right? Because I think he's earned that. I think that even though this was kind of the tryout year, obviously he had his ups and downs, it was definitely a roller coaster. I think he's definitely earned the opportunity, though, to finish out this season. Now, the political guy in me and the guy that kind of knows how the NFL works a little bit wants to say, well, I might be a little leery with that, right? Because they could easily say, if you're not 100%, you're not going to play. Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure how Sam Darnold's feeling right now, but listen, I think Adam Gase, that organization, are in no rush right now to get Sam Darnold back on the field for the New York Jets.
Yeah, good
Why?
Point.
Because Joe Flacco gives you the best opportunity, and with all due respect to Joe, guy's got a Super Bowl MVP underneath his belt, but he gives you the best chance to probably lose right now. So the political part of me wants to say, I'm not sure if we'll see Minshew again this year, but I think the player in me and just – I think if you're Doug Marrone, and listen, we don't know what kind of basis right now Doug Marrone and Gardner Minshew are even on, right? I mean, I'm sure that right now it's kind of a fractured relationship because, once again, there was a lack of communication. Well, if Doug Marrone's calling the shots right now of who's going to be the starting quarterback or making all the roster moves, you have to wonder right now if that fractured relationship is going to cost Minshew as well. So I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I just hope that Minshew gets another opportunity.
Yeah, I think he will. What's interesting to keep an eye on, in my opinion, is if he practices a little bit, still doesn't feel good, do then under what you're saying there, which, by the way, I think does happen in the NFL. And so I think we'd be naive to say it doesn't happen in the NFL. Yeah. Could Sam Darnold, if they were 7-2, fight through some of this? Maybe. I agree with you there. Mm-hmm. Would they be rushing Minshew back if they were 7-2? Yeah, I think so. Mm-hmm. So especially if he had gotten off to a 5-1 start. Are they going to rush Drew Brees back? Yeah, absolutely, for obvious reasons, right?
Absolutely.
But I wonder if in practice this thing doesn't feel good, he just gets a procedure on it and says, hey, let's heal this thing up and shut it down for the year. Like I think that would be the next step, or I think he's going to play. Barring a procedure that, furthering the injury or it doesn't heal properly, so you need something from a procedural standpoint that puts you on the shelf, I think he will play again in the month of December. Because now the question can be asked simply, well, could they have put him on IR this late in the year? I guess I was about to say that, and I should have asked. But for the 3-game stretch, I think they I got to check the deadline because of the new rules this year.
Yeah.
Because now he's going to miss 3 games. So did they just not see that coming that he might miss 3 games? Keep in mind, he's missing 3 games plus the bye week.
Yeah. No,
So-
it's not a bad call. I'm going to be honest with you, Brent. I have no idea how this whole IR thing works this year.
Yeah, I
a
gotta
player's on IR, then he's like, I don't know. Like, I hear IR, it's like, oh, he's out for the season. But now it's like you're out for 2 or 3 games. The whole IR thing this year is super confusing to me.
Yeah, well, you're out 3 games, and then if you go on again, like Josh Lambo, then you're out for the year. So if you
Gotcha.
visited a second time, well, technically, Gardner Minshew, although he's going to miss now 3 games, he has not been to IR. So I got to check, though. There might have been a deadline for that 3-game window. And once you reach a certain point in the season, it might be, okay, if you go on IR now, boom, you're out for the season. So I will double-check on that. But anyway, I believe, if healthy, he will play again in December. And I think you can make the case they would have won that game with Gardner Minshew yesterday.
Absolutely.
I really do.
Yeah.
And I also believe they will win a game. They are playing too hard. They're playing too well. They still are not getting any calls from the officials. Like, give them one call here or there, which does happen and will happen. Give them a break here or there, and they're going to win a football game. And, by the way, they are trying to win the football game. You all might be mad if they win a football game. But I'm telling you, you should be rooting for Washington. You should be rooting for Dallas. Because if you're rooting for that number 2 pick or 1 pick, but let's just keep it at number 2 for now, then they are going to win a game. Like, I'm convinced they will win one more football game here in 2020. All right, let's stay on the Jags. You brought up Doug Marrone. I thought those were some really interesting comments. I want to dive into them a little bit more. There's some scuttlebutt here today, at least on the social media and the Jaguars Twitter and people who always talk about the Jags of, oh my gosh, could they save themselves? I don't buy it for a second. We're looking at a change in Jacksonville by the end of December, early January, and I don't think anything can change that. More on it when we come back on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Action Sports Jax with Brent Martineau on ESPN 690 is brought to you by Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park.
Now, the first alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Mostly sunny and nice today. Highs in the low 70s. We drop into the 40s tonight. Join me beginning at 5 p.m. for CBS 47 at Fox 30. Action News Jax from the First Alert Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. It's Beard's Diamonds' 40th anniversary sale. Save up to 40% off store-wide till November 30th. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At Lloyd's Construction and Consulting, we've been celebrating 10 years in business. Over the years, we've constructed thousands of projects in the Northeast Florida region. From commercial to residential, we handle each project with the respect and care it deserves. We look forward to speaking with you about your next construction project. Find out more at lloydsconstruction.net.
Boss, hit the gas! What's going on? You were supposed to check to see if that house had anyone home. Now their porch is on fire.
Boss, I didn't do it. The ding-dong doorbell camera just burst into flames and started melting.
Oh, so it's true. Those things are fire hazards.
Yeah, and now we know another big difference between those cheap ding-dong doorbell cameras and a SafeTouch security system.
Well, yeah. With SafeTouch, homeowners don't have to worry about their video cameras getting hacked.
Or employees spying on customers.
Or bursting into flames.
Uh-oh. Fire department's coming, boss. Time to go.
I'm way ahead of you. By the way, your eyebrows are completely gone.
Oh, well. Maybe it's an improvement.
Just so I know you still got your senses, recite the Crooks R Us golden rule again.
Stay away from SafeTouch houses. Don't worry. It's burned into my brain.
Crooks know to stay away from SafeTouch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of SafeTouch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call SafeTouch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Hi, it's Brian Kilmeade for Phil Aiken Home Team Keller Williams Realty. I'm talking with Greg and Gary about their recent home sale. Why did you call Phil Aiken?
We called Phil Aiken because we had heard that his team will sell your house quickly and for more money than any of the other realtors in town.
Tell us what happened.
Phil Aiken and his A-team, they will make the process very easy. Sold in 4 days and got over asking price.
Well, that's great. So how did you think they were able to sell it so fast?
Because Phil has the buyers and they have the team that can get the job done quickly and stress-free.
What would you tell a friend who is looking for a real estate agent to sell their home?
Would I recommend Phil Aiken and the A-team? Absolutely.
Well, the results speak for themselves, right? Phil Aiken and his team have the systems and will even guarantee to sell your home in writing or buy it himself yourself.
Yes, we got better results than we expected.
Thanks, Gary. Friends, hire the agent with the buyers looking to buy a home right now. Call Phil Aiken. Call 500-PHIL. That's 500-PHIL, or visit philhasthebuyers.com.
Worthless warranties, slimy salespeople, shady subcontractors. It's no wonder people don't trust most roofing companies. At All Pro Roofing and Consulting LLC, we didn't trust them either. That's why we started our own roofing company. With more than 25 years of experience, we offer industry-leading warranties, simple, fair financing, and no subcontractors. Residential, commercial, even multifamily properties. At All Pro Roofing and Consulting, we've got you covered. Learn more at allproroofingllc.com.
HBI, a national leader for career training in the building industry, is providing training, certification, and placement in the construction industry for veterans, their spouses, and children that are over the age of 18 at no cost. The following 2020 class dates are being offered: August 10th, September 14th, October 19th, and November 16th. For more program and class details, please call Joe Jones at 407-717-7609 or visit the website at hbi.org. That's hbi.org.
Nurses take extraordinary care of us during what is often the most difficult and trying times in one's life. We often take for granted the service and sacrifice of these first responders. I'm Mark Anajar from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. If you are a nurse and currently face investigation or complaint under the Florida Nurse Practice Act, you are not alone. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000 for a consultation and take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
All across the nation, we are here for our communities.
We're doing our part to get supplies where it's needed in order to fight COVID-19 together.
It feels good to be out there to assist our community.
I would like our friends and family to know that your National Guardsmen are always ready and always there.
Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Florida Army National Guard. Aired by the Florida Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Max. Knicks fans, you have a choice. You didn't used to have a choice. The Knicks ran unopposed in New York for decades. The Nets were in the ABA, and then they were in Jersey. They're in Brooklyn. You have a choice, Knicks fans. You do not need to suffer the abuse at the hands of James Dolan anymore. You do not need to. You can root for another New York team.
The Max Kellerman Show, weekdays at 2 Eastern on ESPN Radio and coming to ESPN Plus November 9th.
What's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane from ESPN 690 and Action Sports Jax. Your smart speaker brings ESPN 690 into your home office. All you got to do is say Amazon Echo, Google Home, play ESPN 690, and enjoy that succulent sports coverage.
Austin Lane.
And Tony Khan clap back. There you go, Kuz. There's your clap back for you.
Clapped.
So,
It's a
clapped.
gamer thing.
Eric Clapton. Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be a good gamer name.
I'm using that tonight.
Gamer names.
Check your boy, Eric Clapton.
Oh, that's so good.
Brent Martineau.
Yeah. You guys just had a moment.
Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
I thought coming out early, I thought our defense really did well. You know what I'm saying? Being able to stop them. I thought it worked out where we got them out and we were able to get good field position on 2 drives that I thought maybe we should have came out with points, and we didn't come out with points on it. I thought we were running the ball well, but we couldn't continue to stay on the field in the first half on 3rd downs, which we were 0 for 4. I think that would have helped us, you know, if we were able to pick those up, and they seemed like they were manageable at that time.
That is head coach Doug Marrone. You know, I love that spot we played before you coming in, the moment that you two had. Did you ever do that game that night on WAPE, Kuz?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, we never paid that one off. I never remembered asking you if you actually did it that night. But
I'm pretty sure I did. I actually think I held on to it when I got a win on somebody that could hear me say that, and so I think I said it.
All right, Brett Martineau, Austin Lane, Kuz. Everybody have a good weekend? You guys do all right or what?
It's been better, Brent. It's been better for me, man.
Yeah.
So
he's got the camera on the right side this time.
I know. Well, yeah, I mean,
oh, that's
I
right. That was
and
real. Tell us about that.
Oh yeah, I mean, should I stand up quick, Kuz, and show it off in the camera?
If you want to.
All right, Brent, 1 second. Hang on. Can you see it or not?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You can see it. Yeah.
It's noticeable. Yeah. So I had my pictures on Saturday. Our family photos down in Orlando. Super pumped up about those. Actually, you know what? And it was a fun time. Shout out to our photographer Doug. He shouldn't be doing photography. He should be doing like stand-up comedy because he was a treat to be around. Let's just say that. But obviously, before I went to training Friday night, my wife was like, all right, don't get banged up or anything. I'm like, babe, I got it. Don't worry about it. Well, ended up busting up my nose pretty good. Had a leaky faucet. And me being the constant professional that I am, I went on Twitter. And I'm like, hey, has anybody ever busted up their nose and have you superglued it? What happened with that? Now, keep in mind, and we've been over this before, Brent, when I hurt my ankle a little bit, I had to get stitches in it. My wife is in the healthcare field, okay? It was her idea to go get stitches. My diabolical mind was like, well, if I get stitches, it's going to show in the photos. Not knowing that if I was going to super glue it, was going to be even worse, but whatever. So we're going back and forth with my wife and I, and I'll be honest, Brent, it was to the point where I was going to call you and say, can I come over and sleep on your couch tonight? Okay? That's where we're at, right? Because I'm not listening. It was taco night, and it was Friday Night SmackDown. And you must be out of your mind. You must be off your rocker if you think I'm going to go after a plate full of tacos and wrestling, what's going to happen with Jey Uso and Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre. Well, I'm going to tune in and find out. I'm not going to go to the hospital and get stitches. So we ended up super gluing it. It doesn't look the best, okay? Shout out to the people on Twitter that had some advice. First Coast Bubbler said, go get what was it called? Second Skin from Dollar General. Spoiler alert, absolutely not. All Second Skin does, it's for like a blister. I have more than a blister. Did absolutely nothing. So we use super glue. It looks horrible right now. What's going to end up happening is it's going to probably bust open again. And when it busts open again, then I'm going to have to go get stitches.
So you obviously were sparring on Friday night.
I wasn't even sparring. I was doing what we call it wall work, where it's like grappling. So like we're like against the wall, and my head just accidentally hit a place where it wasn't supposed to hit, and yeah, busted up my nose.
Wow. So did you do the pictures?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and well, even the guy was like, yeah, it's not a big deal, man. Yeah, Photoshop.
Yeah. So you're going to just Photoshop after.
Yeah, we're going to Photoshop that.
We had to do that, actually. Like, we did a family photo shoot. We haven't done many of these, but we did one of those with Steph's parents back. Oh, my gosh. Now it's probably a decade ago. And Kaylee was sick.
Yeah.
Like, really sick. Like, noticeably sick. But we're like, hey, we had already booked it, right? We're all together.
Sure.
They live in Ohio. We had no choice. And I think it was that Kaylee was sick. And so they ended up being able to kind of Photoshop the red eyes out or whatever else, and there we are. So it's not the most genuine picture, I guess there is.
Yeah.
But, hey.
No one cares about being genuine, Brent.
As long as it looks good.
You better believe it, man. And I think our picture's going to look good and everything like that. But, yeah, probably should have got stitches in retrospect. But come on, man. Friday Night SmackDown, belly full of tacos. That's some good stitches. Yeah. Let's get serious.
Steph's going to remind me, too. It might have been Tyler who was sick. I got a good memory. It's just kind of short these days.
Well, it was one of them.
It was one of them.
Yeah. But besides that, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
But besides that, too, I actually watched the Little Masters.
Did
you? I watched Dustin Johnson do his thing. I'll be honest, kind of boring because even though he was off to a little rough start, it was kind of his all day.
Yeah.
But found out that Wayne Gretzky had a daughter. And then
you just found that out.
Yeah. And then also found out that she's, I think, engaged to Dustin Johnson. And
yeah,
you know what?
They might be married now.
Hey,
I don't know. But
you know what, Dustin Johnson? Good for you.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
That's been a relationship for a while.
Sure.
And yes, definitely good for him.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm not going to talk to Masters right now. We'll talk a little bit later. But I will say this, and I agree with you. It was a boring Sunday at the Masters.
Yeah.
It really was. I'll tell you why and my thoughts on it. But, I mean, listen, I enjoyed it because I like golf, and I like the early time, and I still like watching Tiger even when he's not in it. And now you can see every shot of almost everybody, so that's cool. But I don't disagree with you. I think it was a boring Sunday at the Masters. I thought Saturday was good, but I think Sunday was pretty boring. So more on the Masters coming up because I have this question. It's really not related to golf per se, related to sports because there's something about the Masters that is so different than any other golf tournament, and I want to ask it in relationship to sports. So we'll have that coming up. But let's stay on the Jags for now. We've got some NBA chatter. That will get Coos going on the Drive and Dish podcast. We got a lot to get to here on a Monday. But, Coos, I don't know if you – do you have the F-bomb quote from Marone handy?
And if you edit it out.
Hopefully you edit it, or at least have the drop button ready. But if it takes you a couple minutes, that's fine. I will say this, Austin, because we talk about Doug Marone right now, and I've got to give the coaching staff a lot of credit coming off the bye week. I think they've coached their butt off. I mean, I think it's noticeable. Like, I don't notice coaching good and bad often. I know we just say, they're losing, they stink. They're winning, they're great, right? That's what we do. But I really think, like, they've made some changes, and there is something to be said, a little something to be said, for a team that still plays very hard and buys into what you do. Now, listen, this is not the hardest team to get to buy in. They went out and got a lot of buy-in guys, good guys, along with hopefully good players, and they got rid of the other guys that might be causing problems right about now.
That's a good point.
So they made that bed for themselves. They didn't want drama, and they're not getting drama. So I don't think we're surprised the Jags are still playing hard. So I'm not really sure how much credit goes to Marrone and the coaching staff on that, but I'll put it in their cap because they are playing hard, noticeably hard. And you know what they did yesterday that impressed me is that they played physical. I've been saying this for the last couple of years, and I know you hate this word as a former football player, but the Jaguars were a playmaking, fast defense in 17, 18, and well, maybe not even 19. They were not a physical football team. Now, every team is physical. It's a physical sport. But they did not lay the wood. Well, yesterday, they were a physical football team. I saw C.J. Henderson. I saw Adam Gotsis knock off someone's head. I saw Miles Jack once again be violent. That was the most physical football game I can remember the Jags playing in quite some time. I mean, I don't know if it jumped off the screen to you, but it jumped off to me, and I thought that's why I say, hey, good job by the coaches. They said you got to go up there and be physical and punch these guys in the mouth, and you know what? That team listened, and they did.
Brandon, as soon as I saw Josh Allen warm up with his shirt off, I knew we were in for
Everybody
a
does
real
that
barber.
now. Everybody does
and
that
listen,
now.
Hey, I appreciate the hustle. I appreciate the showmanship. Good for him. But let's be honest. Wasn't that cold in Green Bay? Gets a lot colder, all right? So while it was a cool gesture, I see you, Josh Allen. Try that when it's like minus 10 degrees, right? Try that when the wind chill is in full effect right now. But with that being said, Brent, I completely agree with you. I thought you did see a physical brand of football from that Jaguars defense yesterday. I thought you saw Aaron Rodgers become frustrated. I thought you saw a porous defensive line that absolutely shut down the run game with Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams. And let's not get it twisted. Like, that Green Bay Packers offensive line, their run game, they're really solid, right? And they had their star tackle, David Bakhtiari, back as well. So while their defense on the Packers, they had a lot of injuries, a lot of guys sitting out. Their offense, for the most part, now Devontae Adams got hurt a little bit, ends up coming back. But their offense was pretty much intact. And I thought the Jaguars stood up and kind of took the challenge a little bit. And this is kind of a fact. Like, listen, the Jaguars were not supposed to win this game, hands down. Like, it wasn't even supposed to be close, right? We both agree on that. But every once in a while, when you find yourselves in this kind of situation, and I kind of date back to when we played Tom Brady here in Jackson. I think it was back in 2012. It would have been Malarkey's year. And obviously, we weren't going to go win anything. But, like, to us, that Patriots game, it was like our playoff game. It was like our Super Bowl because we weren't supposed to beat them. Now, we didn't beat them. It was a closer game than people expected, but we didn't win, obviously.
You left it all out there.
Exactly. But those are the games right there. That the games that you're not supposed to win where it's like, you know what, let's find a way and let's make this close. Now, you know, for the Jaguars' sake, well, you're playing an undefeated Pittsburgh Steelers team this week. You're going to be playing a Baltimore Ravens team that, for lack of better words, are going to be going to the playoffs, right? So you're going to play some still very competitive and very upper echelon kind of teams. So we could see some great performances down the line now just because this is their playoff game. This is their Super Bowl, and they have nothing to lose.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, they've got a bunch of these games coming up. And I agree with you, though. I think Doug Marrone basically said, hey, listen, guys, you're going to go play in a Lambeau Field. Lambeau Field is pretty cool. You're going to go play against Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is one of the best of all time. Yes, we're 2 touchdown underdogs. You know what? Yeah, we're probably on our way out here. We're not going to the playoffs. That's where we're at. That's reality. But, man, go play your butt off. Go win a game. Go make a memory for yourself you tell the grandkids about. Like, I don't know what his pregame speech was, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was something like that.
Absolutely.
You know? And I think they did. They delivered. They played really well. We're going to get to Steven on the line. Kuz, you can hold that soundbite until the next segment just because we're not going to have time to get into it yet. But I want to ask one more thing. C.J. Henderson played well. wasn't flawless, but he played well. Chris Claybrooks, by the way, continue. I see 27 a lot, and that's a good thing. I think Daniel Thomas keeps playing well. There's Josh Allen, and he's not a rookie, but he's second-year guy. There's Caleb Von Chason. There's Devon Hamilton. I mean, I just named 6 guys that are playing a lot that are mostly all rookies. I included Josh Allen in there as a second-year guy. Yeah. Who has you the most excited right now?
Yeah.
About in the future, because I don't think it is Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen's a very good player. But looking at what's going on, I'm not sitting there saying, oh, my gosh, this guy, that'd be – while I might take him in the long term, I'm just not looking at the last couple of games saying, oh, my gosh, he's playing lights out. This is why we all think he's great. No, I don't think he's the guy in this conversation.
No, he's definitely not. I mean, listen, and Josh Allen I had a better game yesterday. I'm going to be honest with you, maybe so we can break down later. There's nothing more frustrating to me than when there's emotion or just some kind of change of formation where they put him at the big end and he's in like this square stance and he's playing the run first on the way to the quarterback. It absolutely drives me insane because that's not what he's supposed to do. Okay, I'm just going to say that. But to answer your question, to me, it's obvious, right? And all due respect to C.J. Henderson, all due respect to Claybrooks, I mean, the answer is Devon Hamilton, hands down.
Yeah.
And I was very adamant about this of him out of college. I thought he had a pretty good first step. And I get it. People are probably getting sick and tired of me saying the first step. But I'm here to tell everybody that it is the biggest – I mean, it's the biggest game changer in football. Now, there's a lot of great players out there that don't have a first step that are still all-pro type of guys, all right? So let's not get that twisted. At the same time, though, you can't teach the first step. You can't teach the get-off. And what you're seeing right now with Devon Hamilton is the first step, is the get-off. They can teach him everything else down the line, right? And listen, I don't expect my nose tackles to get a lot of sacks. Devon Hamilton can be that guy, okay, because I think he's that talented. Now, the sack that he had yesterday, let's go ahead and give a little credit to Taven Bryan here, because Taven Bryan they're running a Tom game, which means it's the tackle first, and then it's the nose on the outside. Now, why they call it a Tom game, I'll never know. That's defensive line coaches for you. Makes absolutely zero sense. But with that being said, it was a Tom game, tackle first, and then obviously the nose tackle around. And Taven Bryan did a great job of taking 2. Who knows? Maybe that's going to be the wall that says it all breakdown. But Devon Hamilton finished it. Right, and he's showing explosiveness. He's causing chaos in the backfield, and that's what you want. You know, you have a situation where Avery Jones goes down, and Avery Jones, has been very dependable on this team the past, 3 or 4 years now. He goes down, Hamilton steps up, and I'll be honest with you, man, he's shown he's something special these past 3 or 4 games.
Yeah, I mean, it's 3 in a row at least for him, and he's starting to he's reminded me of the Yannick Ngakoue pick. And I know he plays a different position, so he's not going to have 37.5 sacks. But he was a third-round find, and you knew almost right away Jan was good. And Devon Hamilton's starting to, know he's good. Mm-hmm. I think he's very good. And by the way, it was a really good game for C.J. Henderson, too. I think that's the sign. I need to see more of that going forward. Hey, Kuz, let's get Steven on real quick. Since I've been rude to him, I won't keep him waiting on the line through this break. He wanted to talk defense, so we'll do that real fast. We're getting along. But what's up, man? Hope you had a good weekend.
You too. Mainly what I was going to say is what you guys have been saying, and I'm going to pick up where Austin left on his 3 takeaway video, is basically the same thing he said. I guarantee Devon Hamilton, if he keeps improving the way he is, he's going to be a force to reckon with. Then Daniel Thomas had 5 tackles by himself, a rookie, played a great game. C.J. Henderson almost pulled the first week off, shutting down Devontae Adams, besides the 1 touchdown. But, their scariest weapon wasn't really relevant that game. I mean, he chased him down, stripped the ball. This defense is improving, and mark my words, if they keep bringing that same grit and dog mentality, as Austin likes to say, we are going to win some other games, because Pittsburgh, they almost lost to Dallas with a quarterback I didn't even know it was on the roster.
Yeah, Steven, thanks for the call, man. Appreciate you listening to Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. I think everybody echoes that. That's the beauty of these last couple of weeks. I mean, and again, I believe it's very important for C.J. Henderson to be in this kind of conversation. I would like to, by the end of the year, get Caleb Von Chason in that conversation as well.
Yeah.
And then I think that would be the small victories that could go a long way. And I do think there's a part of this losing and almost getting there that's going to build some character and some chips on those guys' shoulders going forward that maybe they can carry the freight and help turning this organization around. A lot to be determined. It's such a small sample right now. Some of these young guys, it's good to get excited about. They found some talent. Have they found enough is the question. When we come back, we will talk a little bit more about Doug Marrone. He was feisty in the postgame. What does it mean? Next on ESPN 690.
ESPN 690 Sports Center Update.
Happy Monday. I'm Jake Mitchell. There is no joy in Jacksonville as the Jags lost their 8th straight yesterday. The Green Bay Packers pass rush was just too much for the Jags O-line to contain at the end of the game. The final score was 24-20. With this loss, Jags will have a losing record 8 of the 9 years Shad Khan has owned the team. The team hung in there for a while, though, with the Pack, but here's when things started to go south, according to head coach Doug Marrone.
We were able to get good field position on 2 drives that I thought maybe we should have came out with points, and we didn't come out with points on it. I thought we were running the ball well, but we couldn't continue to stay on the field in the first half on 3rd downs, which were 0 for 4. I think that would have helped us, if we were able to pick those up, and they seemed like they were manageable at that time.
In college football, former UF head coach Will Muschamp was let go from the University of South Carolina after struggling to a 2-5 record. OC Mike Bobo will serve as the interim head coach. You're working from home and want to listen to ESPN? Tell your smart speaker to play ESPN 690.
No matter what you are driving, you can step up to luxury now at any of the Fields Auto Group dealerships in Jacksonville. Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. So whatever you're driving, see Fields first and step up to luxury for less during this amazing opportunity. Visit fieldsauto.com.
Alexa, how do I drive more customers into my business?
First, people will need to hear about you. Then you need to be online where they look for you. Then you need
I don't have time for that. I need to run my business.
Okay, searching for a local team that can help.
Local Solutions. Visit JacksonvilleLocalSolutions.com today.
Hey folks, Dave Benyon here with Zero Res. With the holidays upon us, it's time to get your carpets and upholstery, your tile and grout, and your area rugs cleaned and ready for your family and friends. Our schedule's filling up fast, so give us a call today. We're offering 3 rooms of carpet clean for $129, and if you book today, we'll throw in a 4th room for free. Call 287-5727. That's Zero Res, spelled forward or backwards. It's the right way to clean.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At Lloyd's Construction and Consulting, we've been celebrating 10 years in business. Over the years, we've constructed thousands of projects in the Northeast Florida region. For commercial to residential, we handle each project with the respect and care it deserves. We look forward to speaking with you about your next construction project. Find out more at lloydsconstruction.net.
Home Builders Institute is a national leader for career training in the building industry and provides students the skills and experience they need for successful careers. HBI training programs are taught in local communities across the country to youth, veterans, displaced workers, and other underserved populations. These programs do more than just provide job skills. They also build character and self-esteem, helping to provide students with the skills they need to succeed on the job and in life. Learn more at hbi.org.
Now this is a stimulus package. You could be driving away in a new Ford F-150 or a Lincoln Aviator from Bozard Ford Lincoln. Watch for the word of the day between 6:30 and 7 during Action News Jacks this morning. Text 46757 and you could qualify to win. Plus, every day we're giving away 2 $100 gift cards to the new Ford's Garage restaurant, located outside Bozard's new Lincoln showroom. The Drive and Dine giveaway. Weekday mornings on Action News Jacks.
After the year we've had, Diamonds Direct thinks she deserves something really special. So our annual pre-holiday store-wide sale is bigger and better and longer than ever. All this week you get an extra 20% savings on virtually everything. Rings, earrings, pendants, bands, bracelets, and expanded selection from all our top designers. You save 20% and more. Special financing too. It's happening now through Sunday. The last store-wide sale before Christmas with the best prices all year. Now through Sunday at Diamonds Direct.
Off Town Center Parkway, just left of the Hyatt.
ESPN 690 wants you to shop the 904. And by doing that, you keep most of the money and jobs right here on the First Coast. Plus, local businesses give our community its uniqueness and character that makes living on the First Coast so great.
Shop the 904.
Time to break up with disappointing breakfast and make it your X-Fist. Because Wendy's has your new breakfast love. We're talking a hand-cracked egg on every sandwich, always crispy oven-baked bacon, all coming together to make the Breakfast Baconator. That's right, a Baconator for breakfast. So go tell the world you're with Wendy's breakfast now. And hurry into Wendy's for the breakfast of your dreams today. We got you.
At participating U.S. Wendy's.
Vote for this week's ESPN 690 High School Athlete of the Week, presented by Honda of the Avenues. Each week, an athlete with the most votes will be announced on Action Sports Jax. To vote or nominate your favorite student athlete, go to ESPN690.com or check us out on ESPN 690's Facebook page.
I want to make sure I answer this the right way. Every time you play and lose, for me, I'm not going to talk about anybody else, there's something that's in my soul that just gets ripped out. So that's how I feel. So it doesn't matter whether it's this game or the other 7 before it, and it's something that you can't replace. At least that's how I feel. I appreciate the question, though.
Yeah.
That's Doug Marrone. I love fired up Doug Marrone. He's been getting after it on the sidelines. He's been more ticked off.
Sure.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But, Austin, there's 2 things here, okay?
Yeah.
To me, I think you got to keep this in perspective. And the perspective to me is they built this situation. They put themselves in this situation. They said they're going young. They could have kept Calais Campbell. They could have tried to add pieces. They subtracted instead. They went young, got 12 draft picks, of course, added 4 more rookies, said they loved their team, got rid of Fournette even, didn't do enough to keep Yannick Ngakoue, obviously. Not that they maybe by the end of it couldn't do anything about it, but they put this roster together, said they loved their football team, couldn't wait to go get it, and now they've lost 8 games in a row. So I understand nobody likes losing. I understand Doug is very competitive. He doesn't like losing. He shouldn't. I appreciate that, and I believe him. But let's not blame everybody else now for looking ahead at the 1 or 2 pick. Let's not blame everybody else now for looking at the silver lining of every Sunday and saying, okay, they didn't lose, but they do have C.J. Henderson, and they do have Devon Hamilton, and they do have James Robinson. They created this situation, Austin, that we're now looking at anything we can grab onto, looking into the future that might help turn this around.
Listen, this is going to be the ultimate on-the-fence answer here, but I can't think of anywhere else to go with it. You're right, Brett. Like, they're reaping what they sowed, right? Like, you told us during the preseason that you liked your team, that remind you of that Saints team that you were coaching, you know, that special team. And you told us right now that you got all these guys that are going to buy in, and Dave Caldwell told us that, hey, let's just see what happens here. Right? Like Dave Caldwell knew something that we didn't. Let's just see what happens. Okay. Well, we waited. We were patient. We were optimistic. You beat the Colts week 1. All of a sudden, it's like, all right, maybe they're onto something. And let's be honest. Now we are where we are. So you can't be mad at fans right now. You can't be mad at even us talking about, well, the draft pick's coming forward. Because, listen, you put yourselves here. At the same time, though, and Brent, you know this better than anybody. There's definitely an ego involved in the sport of football with coaching or players. I'm talking here more about the coaching part of it. The ego involved tells you that regardless of what you said to get to this point, losing is still the worst feeling in the world. And I've been in those locker rooms when you won 2 games. It's embarrassing, okay? It makes coming to work so hard. It's frustrating. It's one of the worst feelings in the world. And I get it. I mean, there's a lot worse feelings out there. I don't want to be, like, over-aggressive with that. But I'm just saying it's not fun to be a part of. So I get the frustration from Doug Marrone. I get the frustration from players in that locker room. I can't imagine. Well, actually, you know what? I can imagine. Because right now there's a 1 next to the record, and they're trying to rectify that as much as possible. So I can see both sides of it. But at the end of the day, you put yourselves here.
There's this conversation piece in Jacksonville today like, hey, if they keep playing like this, look out. Shad Khan might keep them. No.
Oh,
no. They're not keeping them unless he goes 5-2 down the stretch. That's the only chance you have to save your job.
And let me ask you this. Tom Pelissero reported before the game that Joel Schobert was saying that coaches were telling him that, hey, you could see some changes coming forward, and that's kind of maybe why you saw like a defense play at a new level. You buy into that?
Yeah, maybe. One more thought on that when we come back. We're going to take a break at the top of the hour. Next on ESPN 690. As the seasons change, there's one thing that never changes: the importance of clean drinking water. A Connecticut system from CGC Water removes up to 99% of contaminants. Now that's clean, and that's also why our family has a Connecticut system from CGC Water. Yours can too. Right now, CGC Water is offering a free A200 reverse osmosis drinking water system with the purchase of a Connecticut Premier Softener. Connecticut Premier Softeners are non-electric and have twin tanks, making them super efficient, saving you money. If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Schedule your free water test today and get peace of mind knowing your family's water is safe water. CGC is still taking extra precautions with in-home visits and continuing to follow CDC guidelines. Remember, this is a limited time offer, a free A200 reverse osmosis drinking water system with the purchase of a Connecticut Premier Softener. Financing available with approved credit. Just call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Serving Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia, CGC Water Treatment, your local independent Connecticut dealer.
The economic difficulties caused by the current pandemic is affecting the survival of local small businesses. Many have had to close or greatly reduce operations. How well prepared are you to gear back up once conditions begin to improve? Will there be enough working capital to do so? Take advantage of this time to participate in a SCORE webinar or meet virtually with a counselor to get some ideas on developing a business recovery strategy. Register for a webinar or schedule a confidential mentoring session at jacksonville.score.org.
Hey, does your car still only play CDs? No Bluetooth? No CarPlay? You got an old car, my friend. You know what's better than an old car? A less old car. Get a car or truck that's new to you with a great used car loan from 1-to-1 Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. Get pre-approved for a loan and shop at any dealership in town. Get a low rate and get rid of that old car today. Apply online at 1to1fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
This Movember, here's to the straggly mustaches, the lopsided ones, the oddly sexy ones, the itchy, patchy, raggedy ones, the peach fuzz ones, the hey, I look good with this ones, the scruffy ones, the black, blonde, red, and gray ones, the ones grown by Dad, the ones grown for Dad. They all raise awareness, raise funds, start conversations, and save lives. Because whatever you grow will save a bro. Learn more at Movember.com.
Slip and falls can be embarrassing, leaving you in pain and feeling like you've lost control. I'm Eli Anajar from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. After a fall, document the scene by taking photographs and make sure to get medical attention for any injuries you may have. If you've been injured in a slip and fall accident, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
Worthless warranties, slimy salespeople, shady subcontractors. It's no wonder people don't trust most roofing companies. At All Pro Roofing and Consulting LLC, we didn't trust them either. That's why we started our own roofing company. With more than 25 years of experience, we offer industry-leading warranties, simple, fair financing, and no subcontractors. Residential, commercial, even multifamily properties. At All Pro Roofing and Consulting, we've got you covered. Learn more at allproroofingllc.com.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
I'm Christine Lisi. Breaking news. ESPN's Ed Werder reporting medical tests on Drew Brees revealed the Saints quarterback has multiple rib fractures on both sides of his chest and a collapsed lung on the right side. Doctors have cautioned Brees to be especially careful with the damage to his lung. ESPN's Ryan Clark explains how the Saints deal with what's expected to be a lengthy absence for Breeze.
The defense is going to have to step up. Alvin Kamara is going to have to play better, and even though he was playing great already. And Michael Thomas is going to have to do what he did for Teddy Bridgewater. I see this as a prime opportunity for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to come up, take the NFC South, and maybe the overall top spot in the NFC.
Our Ryan Clark, Saints have a half-game lead on the Bucs in the division. NBA, the Suns got their man. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reporting the Suns agreed in principle on a trade to acquire Thunder guard Chris Paul. The package heading to OKC includes Ricky Rubio and Kelly Oubre, plus a 2022 first-round pick. Mavs forward Kristaps Porzingis will miss the start of the season as he continues to rehab from knee surgery. Saturday's Ole Miss-Texas A&M game postponed over concerns related to COVID-19.
Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. Geico.com. Easy.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
I just sit here when people ask me about, when you lose and about trying to find the positives and all that other stuff. I just think, like, if anyone reads that, or it's a quote by me or anything like that, it's just, I don't know. I just don't want to, for some reason, I just don't want to go there. So I apologize for that, because, and maybe it's hard for me after a game, you know what I'm saying, to really, try to kind of, say where everyone's going and not. I mean, I've been in this thing a long time, and I love this game, but, I meant when I said, when Gene asked that question, a lot of times people are going to go ahead and, the game's over and, life moves on. Well, it doesn't move on for us, it sits there. It's, it is what it is.
That's Doug Marone, Brett Martineau, Austin Lane here on a Monday. Hey, listen. I think all that is heartfelt. I think it's genuine. I just also think that, again, it's worth reminding what we just said in the last segment. I mean, they made the bed for themselves here. They took a shot and said, we can win with a young talent. And so here's what I think Doug should do. And I think Doug should say, hey, we think he don't have to say this part, but in his own mind he should say, we thought we could win with these guys. We like this team. But now he has to pivot the conversation if he has any chance to save his job, which I don't believe he does unless the W's start coming.
Yeah.
But he has to start pivoting conversation and answering these questions to say, hey, Devon Hamilton, playing his butt off, man. C.J. Henderson, look at the growth. James Robinson, what a good decision. Take all those young guys and show us you're developing. If I'm those guys in there, and I don't know if it's the right move, wrong move, whatever, I don't think they can save their jobs because they're not going to win enough games. And anybody who believes that they are, hey, if they play 24-20 every week against these kind of teams and show like the little moxie and they're getting better, and it's not going to be enough. Like, they are not saving their jobs. I just don't believe it. Yeah. You'll have to show me at the end of the year, and I'll be dead wrong about it. I just don't believe it. But if I'm Doug, I start saying, hey, listen, it's all about wins and losses. We are not winning. Mm-hmm. The good thing is these guys are playing well and getting better. That's a good sign. We have such a young team. That's a good sign. But we need to do more. Like, you can say it without making the headline of, hey, it's okay we lost, but at least these guys are playing well, which Doug's afraid of right now. So if I'm Doug, I'm celebrating young guys are playing well.
No, you absolutely have to, right? Just kind of like they celebrated last year, Gardner Minshew probably to Shad Khan, right? Maybe that's why they kept their jobs in the first place. Listen, I get what you're saying, Brent, where the moral victories, the victories of maybe having a couple draft picks or undrafted free agents come in that are, maybe going to be the guys going forward. I get that. It's something that you can point at. But like you said, it comes down to wins and losses. Now, at the same time, I'd be the guy last year that would have said, well, you know what? There's no that these guys are going to retain their jobs after what they performed on last season. Well, they're still here. So I'm not trying to put it in the atmosphere right now, put the energy out there and say, well, let's not. I mean, you never know. They could still be here. Listen, I think that if you win 2 games at the very most, you go 2-14, that's obviously grounds for dismissal. Enough said.
Yeah, I would agree. Hey, I don't know if you met this guy at the Pickle. You know him from the Wisconsin days. But it's time to take some roll call, and I believe Kevin's on the line from Chicago. And maybe he is related to you in some way because he wants to talk Kyler Murray. Well,
I'm here for it.
You know, we are an ESPN affiliate in the desert now.
Yes,
we have named I don't know if that's officially happened on the wires, but we have named ourselves that because
news.
you are the president of the Kyler Murray fan club. Kevin, thanks for jumping in, man.
What's up, guys? Yeah, I got to talk about Kyler Murray after the big win, the big Hail Mary win, because it's not just about Kyler Murray. It's about Josh Rosen, the guy Kyler Murray replaced. And it's funny, when it comes to Mitch Trubisky, it comes to Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, all these guys, they received tons of criticism on ESPN. You always hear these personalities bashing if they have a bad game or this, that, and the other. But when it comes to Rosen, he was thinking up the joint. Kyler Murray comes in, instantly has an impact, instantly makes them – they're actually a Super Bowl contender. That's how much they changed his franchise. But with Josh Rosen, they're not talking about it. They don't want to talk about his hiccups, the fact that he stinks. He can't do nothing. Now he's a backup, and he can't even make the starting lineup. So why is that? Why are they covering for this guy, Josh Rosen?
Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate the call from Chicago here on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. All right, Austin.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, let's just go ahead and bask on. We just got a Kyler Murray question, so let's go ahead and bask on that for a second.
We should.
Okay.
And I want to talk a little bit more about Kyler Murray in terms of the MVP race. I think what he's asking there is, you know, why is the Rosen thing just gone off the table?
Yeah.
And to answer that part of the question, I think it's twofold. I think the fact that Arizona got rid of him so quickly, I was critical of at the time. I was like, my goodness, you know? I mean, let's see what the kid is. Let's see what he's got. Mm-hmm. Then they go to Miami, and they get rid of him pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So now 2 stops, and again, I don't even know if we know who Josh Rosen is, but 2 NFL franchises have said, you're not good enough. And we invested a lot of draft capital on this guy, at least in Arizona, and he's still not good enough. Well, here's the other reason why I think the talk about Rosen has dissipated to really nothing. And it's because they made the right move.
Yeah.
You know, they made the right move. There's no question they made the right move. They did something. I put it in the same conversation as Vrabel and Malarkey. And this is what sometimes it takes in the NFL. You could even put it in the Lamar Jackson conversation. Oh, that was a little less risky because it was the last pick of the first round that they jumped back in to get. But you have to be bold. You have to take chances. You have to hit on some of those chances and get a little lucky. Well, the Tennessee Titans said, you know what, hey, Mike, you've done a good job. You know, I mean, we've got a couple winning seasons here. We haven't even had much of that. But we have a chance to go get Mike Vrabel, and we think he could really put us over the top. He can take these winning ways and get us to the next step. Well, I think so far so good on that move for the Tennessee Titans and Mike Vrabel. Well, the same thing happened in Arizona. Hey, we invested in a young quarterback. We have no idea what he is right now. Hasn't even played long enough. But we got a chance to get a guy that is different and match him up with a coach that thinks a little bit different than a lot of others in the NFL. Has that college game come into the NFL at the right time. Perfect timing. Bold move. And it's working in Arizona. So I think that's why the Rosen talk has been drowned out.
So here's why I think it's been drowned out. And Kuz, what was the caller's name again so I can address him? Kevin, great question, man. Because listen, you hear about Mitch Trubisky. If you're a Bears fan, well, condolences to your quarterback situation. But you hear about Mitch Trubisky. You hear about the other guys, but you don't hear about Josh Rosen. And here's why I think you don't hear about him. Steve Wilkes back, I think it was in, 2018, drafts Josh Rosen. Now, Steve Wilkes maybe didn't really go above and beyond to take his guy like Josh Rosen was there, right? He fell to the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals took him because they needed a quarterback. And then Josh Rosen kind of had this, this chip on his shoulder saying, I'm going to make everybody regret not taking me number 1 overall. Okay, we get that. The reason why I think Mitch Trubisky gets so much displeasure and so much negativity is because of what the Bears did to get him. Keep in mind, this was a team that traded ahead of Deshaun Watson, traded ahead of Patrick Mahomes to get their guy. Now, let's be honest. If you're the general manager and Ryan Pace, that was your guy, and you sacrificed to get your guy. You swung and you missed. But I respect the fact that they try to get their guy. Cliff, so obviously Wilkes lasts 1 year. He goes to Cleveland, and now he's nowhere to be seen anymore. I don't think he's even coaching anymore. Okay? Cliff Kingsbury comes in and says, you know what? I want to go after my guy. Yeah, obviously the analytics and maybe the optics would say, well, let's give Josh Rosen a chance because look where he got drafted, the first round. You don't just give up on a first-round guy. But what did Kingsbury say? Kyler Murray's my guy. He's going to make my offense work. Josh Rosen isn't. So it goes out to Kyler Murray, and the rest is history right now. Rosen goes to Miami, kind of has an up-and-down career there, and now I think he's in Tampa Bay as a backup. Needless to say, though, Josh Rosen is a circumstance of nobody ever really wanting him. I mean, as corrupt and as bad as that sounds, it's the truth. Because when Wilkes drafted him, he didn't go above and beyond and say Josh Rosen was my guy. Rosen fell to them. Right? It's not like Aaron Rodgers for the Green Bay Packers. Like, they liked Aaron Rodgers. They had to take Aaron Rodgers. They still had Brett Favre. But, like, they saw something in Aaron Rodgers. I feel like when the Cardinals drafted Rosen, I was like, well, he's here. Obviously, he's got some hype around him. Let's just go ahead and take him. And then ever since, you're just having a victim of circumstance where it's like, well, he's Josh Rosen. We don't want him, but he's a first-round pick. Let's see what the guy's got. Simple as that.
Yeah, for our new listeners and viewers, ESPN 690 in the desert. Welcome aboard, Arizona Cardinals fans.
Yeah.
And talking Kyler Murray. And here's the thing, okay? I'm going to ask you about the MVP race in a moment. But it's interesting we're talking about Kyler Murray. As much as the folks in South Florida are talking about Tua, and the folks in Cincinnati are talking about Burrow, and the folks in L.A., although I don't think they talk about the Chargers a lot, are talking about Herbert. So all these guys, well, that's why people in Jacksonville are saying, listen, we'll put up with another 7 Sundays. Give me one of those guys. Because I just rattled off 5 or 6 names that have changed their franchise or at least given them hope to change the franchise. The Kyler Murray talk is important talk because it's what we might see, could get next year and the year beyond here in Jacksonville. And so that's why the conversation about what the Jags could get next year is such an important one, and Kyler Murray is a fantastic example of it. He was okay last year, had some good moments, but what did we talk about at the end of last year? You had Team Murray, I had Team Minshew. Well, look where that's dissolved into, right? I mean, because – listen, Murray was okay, but again, I didn't think Kingsbury did anything that was like, oh my gosh, he's changing the game. And quite frankly, while you could tell Kyler Murray's an incredible athlete, he wasn't like he didn't change the game last year, in my opinion. Yeah. This year he has. He's having that Lamar Jackson-esque kind of year in year 2. Patrick Mahomes, year 2. He's having those kind of seasons, and so. Even next year, Jags might get their guy. Next year might be a little bit of good, a little bit of bad. But maybe in 2022 is where you see that guy take off because we have evidence it can happen in the NFL, and it might be happening. Where does Murray right now fit in the MVP race? I mean, I know you love him. He's on your fantasy team. I think he is overhyped a bit, but the same way I thought Lamar Jackson was overhyped a little bit. Patrick Mahomes is hyped probably appropriately so. He's done enough, and it looks different, and he's amazing, and I think he's always going to be amazing. I think we're seeing a little bit of a drop-off from Lamar Jackson. I think next year we might get defenses that auto-correct a bit, not in all, but a bit on Kyler Murray. We'll see. And there's still a part of me, man, that I'm watching Kyler Murray's athleticism more than I'm watching this, like, brainchild of Kingsbury. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, listen, is he a victim of circumstance? Possibly. But it's a good circumstance to be in right now in that Cardinals offense. If you're asking me who I think is the favorite right now to win MVP, I'm still going with I'm still going with Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. I think that, in terms of numbers – in terms of how easy he makes it look, like no one does it better than Patrick Mahomes. Now, one could say it was Patrick Mahomes kind of a product of circumstance as well, playing with obviously the most talented roster in terms of offense in the entire NFL. Possibly. But I think that Kyler Murray has officially put himself on the map. Because, and listen, Brent, we know tomorrow we're going to do our quarterback grades again, and you know how I'm going to act with that. I'm going to be like the worst person to be around. So it's probably a good thing that you're at home right now. Don't have to see me in person because, man, Just wait. Just wait till tomorrow. That's all I'm going to say. Sleep well tonight, Brent Martineau, because you have a big day tomorrow in terms of our quarterback grades. With that being said, though, I think that Kyler Murray right now could be second or third. Listen, I'm not going to fault Russell Wilson for one bad game or maybe even two bad games. He's still an amazing quarterback. I still think Kyle Murray's got to earn his stripes even a little more. And listen, I'm driving the bandwagon right now, so don't misconstrue my words here. But I still think he's got to do a little more. But listen, if you win the division this year with that team and that, with that kind of talent around you with obviously the Rams and the Seahawks and the 49ers, then I think he's seriously in consideration.
Yeah, I think so too. Patrick Mahomes, by the way, 2-1 odds right now at this odds sheet I'm looking at. Russell Wilson 5-2, Aaron Rodgers 4-1, Kyler Murray 5-1, and then there's a drop off: Big Ben, Tom Brady, Josh Allen, Dalvin Cook, and the rest. It looks like there's potentially a 4-horse race, and two of those guys live in the same division. So you would think the winner of the division has the best chance to maybe contend with Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers to win the NFL MVP. Our buddy Eric Locke says, you think Alex Smith is comeback player of the year? I thought he was comeback player of the year, man, the minute he took a snap.
Without a doubt.
He didn't need 55 attempts and 390 yards yesterday for me to say comeback player of the year. I think maybe it's because I watched the E60 on him. Maybe I'm a sucker for the story. I don't know. But I think it's hands down. The guy's already got the award. He doesn't even have to play another snap, but he should be the comeback player of the year.
Well, and then listen, and I hear it's the story, you're sucker for a story, as am I. But let's be honest, the comeback player of the year, it is all about the story, right? It's about what you have to overcome to get back on the field, or maybe it's what you had to overcome from a down year to play well again. No one's had to overcome more than Alex Smith. So you better believe Alex Smith. And listen, this guy is a shoo-in for comeback player of the year. If there's even an inkling of a vote that goes, out of his direction, we got to have a serious conversation with some people. That's all I'm going to say.
By the way, we just got a call from Chicago.
Yeah.
We extended our affiliation into the desert in Arizona. So it's good for a roll call Monday here in Duval, man. So I just put that out there. Where are you listening from? What city in Northeast Florida or in the state of Florida? What state? What country? Send them in. We like to hear where you're listening from. It was good to get a call from Chicago.
And Brent, this is the power of Kyler Murray. You just throw him on the airwaves a little bit. People are listening. People hear you, and they start calling from Chicago.
All right. We will continue to talk sports amidst the roll call that we have as well. See, Michigan. Kamal's listening in Michigan. We appreciate you, man. And maybe we'll talk about your Wolverines in a bit. Oh, boy.
You don't want to do that. Oof.
Hey, I put a question out this morning with the Kyler Murray stuff front and center. DeAndre Hopkins, who, by the way, I think now with all the NBA free agency open, they should trade Hopkins for LeBron James, and he should go to the Lakers after that basketball effort. And maybe LeBron will play receiver or tight end.
Yeah.
The question is, who did it worse? And we're not talking about, listen, the Jags got a bunch for Jalen Ramsey. I'm talking about the player. Who is going to be in pain longer because of because of giving up a star player? And I know people don't like Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
But Jalen Ramsey's playing unbelievable football.
Yeah.
He's playing great football out there right now.
DK Metcalf who? I'm sorry?
Exactly.
I'm sorry?
And I'll tell you this. I don't know. It's a small sample. I watched his interview after that game, I think, with Steve Weich from the NFL Network. I feel like we're seeing a guy that's maturing a little bit, too. And the thought crossed my mind as, you sons of guns, you screwed this up, Jacksonville. You screwed this up to the point where, yeah, he's a pain in the butt. Absolutely. But he's maybe one of the best players you've ever had here. And you didn't wait long enough to get to the mature Jalen Ramsey. Like the guy that's starting to turn the corner and figure it out and is no longer this young pain-in-the-butt guy. Now, I think he's always going to be a pain in the butt to a degree, but you still could have waited another year or so or two to maybe get the guy that is maturing a bit. I don't know if it ever would have happened. I think he deserves some of the fault here. The bottom line is, did they make a bigger mistake or did the Texans make a bigger mistake? Who is going to hurt more for longer in this situation? And again, trade value doesn't come in. Like, I don't care that the Jags got – I know the Jags got the better deal.
Of course.
Hopkins, they gave away peanuts for. So most people, by the way, over 580 votes, say 87% say Hopkins. Now, I wonder if that's because he's on every TV screen.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
and obviously,
Jalen Ramsey, you don't give him credit.
Yeah, and you don't notice what Jalen's doing sometimes. So I kind of knew where this was going to go, but are they right?
Well,
do you think the Texans will miss Hopkins more than the Jags in the long term will miss Ramsey?
So that's such a great question, Brent. You know what? I lean towards Ramsey more than Hopkins. And listen, there's really no wrong answer here. But I'll be honest, man. I was listening to a bunch of fantasy, podcasts and stuff on Sirius XM Radio yesterday, talking about, just breaking the games down. And everyone was saying how DK Metcalf is matchup proof. Like, it doesn't matter who's on him. He's too fast. He's too big. He's going to get his catches. He's going to get his yards. He's going to get his catches. Well, Jalen Ramsey said, well, check this out. 2 receptions for 28 yards. And all of a sudden, DK Metcalf, it's like, what happened to that guy? And to me, that's the intrigue, and that's the importance of Jalen Ramsey, right? When he got traded to the Rams had the identity of playing offense, obviously, and they were kind of trying to get by on defense. Yes, they had Aaron Donald, but let's be honest. The Rams were more known for their offense. They bring in Jalen Ramsey, and, the first year, they don't go to the playoffs, and everyone want to make fun of that. But, you sense that there was kind of an identity shift a little bit of the attitude of that defense. Listen, I think Aaron Donald's a heck of a player, right? But let's be honest. It's not like he plays – I don't want to say he plays the swag for sure. But, he's not the guy that's going to get a sack and then get in someone's face about it, right? I think he's a very humble individual in Aaron Donald. Not saying that's wrong at all. I actually celebrate that kind of behavior. But I'm saying Jalen Ramsey, he brings the dog. Right? Jalen Ramsey, to me, that defense, it's so contagious now of the style and the swag because he's there. Now, don't get me wrong. The Cardinals are definitely a different team as well. And one could say Kyler Murray is being Kyler Murray because they chose to bring DeAndre Hopkins in. But I just think in terms of a facelift, in terms of an identity shift a little bit, I think Jalen Ramsey provides that even more than DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, well, listen, DeAndre Hopkins actually won them a game. I don't know if Jalen Ramsey is going to win you a game, because of the position he plays. But he certainly is going to help you win and maybe win a lot of games. And I agree with you on the attitude part. Again, go watch that that interview on Twitter with Steve Wyche, I think it was. Yeah. He's giving credit to his teammates. He's saying, I didn't want to make this week all about me and DK Metcalf. Mm-hmm. It's who's this? Right? Who's that guy? Yeah. We don't know who that guy is.
Yeah.
And so there's just I feel like there's a bit of a maturation. I'll say what else. L.A. put their arms around Ramsey. They said, hey, we know that you got a big ego. We know you got a little crazy in you. We know you might probably be a pain in the butt sometimes, but we love you. Mm-hmm. Jags didn't say that. Mm-hmm. Jags don't say it. They never said that. No, I don't remember people saying that, not to the tone that the Rams did. And so I do think it's interesting what you just said. He's made them more a defensive team. It's McVay who is their identity. Well, not anymore. That defense is the identity of the Rams. Sure. I still don't think they're going to win big because I honestly don't believe now their offense does enough. It's weird.
Yeah.
but their defense is very good. They shut down maybe the best offense in the league yesterday.
Yep. Well, and also when you ask that question, I take into account the draft picks as well. And let's be honest. The Jaguars got the better end of that deal. 2 first-round picks. So you're happy with that. So I get that point. If you're the Houston, how much does that hurt yesterday being a Houston Texans fan? Watching DeAndre Hopkins actually win a game. Because you know what Houston got for letting Hopkins go? They got David Johnson, who's now on the IR on a concussion, and they drafted a guy with that pick by the name of Ross Blacklock. Brett, you know what Ross Blacklock's doing this year?
I don't know.
Do you know what position Ross Blacklock even plays?
He was from the Big 12, the defensive lineman from the Big 12, wasn't he?
Brent, I see you. Yeah, to TCU. Good call,
TCU,
man.
There you go, yeah.
Good call, yeah. So he's played in 7 games, hasn't started any of those games. He's got 1 tackle for loss.
Well, and what makes it worse for Texans fans is they brought Hopkins in to be with their franchise quarterback. Hopkins was already with a franchise quarterback,
Correct.
and you took him away from him.
Yep.
And again, I always say this, much like Ramsey. You lost Ramsey, and then you lost the guy that didn't really like Ramsey or he didn't like, Coughlin.
True.
So you lost them both. Bill O'Brien, why did you lose Hopkins? Because Bill O'Brien didn't like him. Well, then you lost Bill O'Brien.
Yep. It's what we call a lose-lose situation, Brent.
That makes sense.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, and about one other thing, The teams that traded, did you see this stat? And I'm stealing this, but it was like Diggs and Hopkins, right? They traded for them. The Bills and Arizona playing well. Teams that let them go, Minnesota and Houston, not so well. Mm-hmm. And I didn't think I thought the Diggs trade, I thought Minnesota swiped them on that one.
Yeah.
And he's been good.
And the best part is when Diggs scored the go-ahead touchdown. He's like, that's why you pay me. That's why I'm here. Did you see it shouting in the end zone? Well, DeAndre Hopkins had something to say about that.
He sure did. All right, we'll be back. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
Action Sports Jacks with Brent Martineau on ESPN 690 is brought to you by Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park.
Now, the first alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Mostly sunny and nice today. Highs in the low 70s. We drop into the 40s tonight. Another beautiful day tomorrow. Sunshine. Your Tuesday high, 73. Join me beginning at 5 p.m. for CBS 47 at Fox 30. Action News Jacks from the First Alert Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. It's Beard's Diamonds 40th anniversary sale. Save up to 40% off store-wide till November 30th.
Hey, let me tell you, everybody, about Fields Auto Group. We've had such a good experience with Fields, not just when we got my wife's new car, which is a Cadillac XT6. I'm at home. She's sitting right out there in the driveway. It's a beautiful car. But ever since we've had the vehicle as well. Fields Cadillac Jacksonville was awesome to work with. Different level customer service with Fields Auto Group. No matter what you're driving, you can step up to luxury for less now at any of the Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. There's Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. It's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. You'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners. In fact, we're loaning a different vehicle this week. Car washes as well, and cafes. Whatever you're driving, see Fields and step up to luxury for less during this amazing opportunity. Do what we did. Visit fieldsauto.com.
Do you know a child who is deaf, hard of hearing, blind, or visually impaired? The Florida School for the Deaf and Blind in St. Augustine is a fully accredited, tuition-free state public school that gives children an edge for a lifetime of success. FSDB is nationally recognized for its educational services designed for students' unique communication and accessibility needs. Eligible pre-K and kindergarten through 12th grade students benefit from small class sizes, advanced technology, and various recreation, extracurricular, and performing arts activities. Transportation and boarding services are free to any eligible deaf or blind student, kindergarten through high school, no matter where the student lives in Florida. My name is Trent Ferguson, and I'm a proud graduate of this wonderful school. This place changes lives. To learn more information or to apply for enrollment, call 800-344-3737 or log on to www.fsdbk12.org.
After a long day, having my dogs greet me at the door with their silly smiles and wagging tails makes me happy. I want to keep that joy with me for years to come. That's why I trust Forever Vets Animal Hospital to keep my pets healthy. Forever Vets was voted 2019's best vet in Jacksonville Magazine's Readers Poll, and it's easy to see why. The affordable wellness plans are tailored to meet all of your pets' changing needs as they grow. Open 7 days a week, Forever Vets friendly staff is available to treat you and your pet with care. They combine extended hours with online booking to allow you to give your pet quality care while accommodating your schedule. Go online to forevervets.com to find which of their 9 locations is nearest you. And don't forget their newest location in Bartram Market. Forever Vets Animal Hospital, keeping your pets happy and healthy forever.
Nothing is certain except death and taxes. And your appliances breaking down as soon as they're out of warranty. At Atlantic Coast Appliance, we can't help with the first 2, but we've got the third one covered. Our factory-trained and certified technicians have been repairing appliances for more than 35 years, with a 90-day warranty on parts and labor and a 100% satisfaction guarantee. For quality repair at a price that's fair, trust Atlantic Coast Appliance. AtlanticCoastAppliance.com. That's AtlanticCoastAppliance.com.
Though no longer little, teens still need a lot of love. Yet teens in foster care have a harder time finding it, as 82% of foster families are home to kids 12 or younger. You can positively impact a teen's life as a foster parent. With help from Family Support Services of North Florida, you provide patience, love, and understanding, and Family Support Services will offer specialized training, resources, and a community of support. Take the next step at foster-now.org. That's foster-now.org.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At Lloyd's Construction and Consulting, we've been celebrating 10 years in business. Over the years, we've constructed thousands of projects in the Northeast Florida region. From commercial to residential, we handle each project with the respect and care it deserves. We look forward to speaking with you about your next construction project. Find out more at lloydsconstruction.net. Join ESPN 690 in Shopping the 904. When you help businesses here on the First Coast, you're really helping all of us. And it keeps our local economy going. That means jobs. 2020 has been a really tough year, especially for locally owned businesses. And you can make a difference when you shop local. So if you live in St. John's, Duval, Baker, Clay, Nassau, or other surrounding counties, shop local. Shop the 904.
Shop the 904.
It's Beard's Diamond's incredible 40th anniversary sale. Everything store-wide is on sale, up to an unbelievable 40% off.
Believe it.
Going on now until November 30th.
Now you can go even bigger and save thousands.
All designer settings,
Diamond earrings, necklaces, and more.
even GIA certified loose diamond. Everything in the store is up to 40% off.
These savings will only last until November 30th. Beard's Diamonds at the St. John's Town Center.
Keyshawn Johnson, Jay Williams, and Zubin Mahente.
Diana, I was on my table clipping the nails.
No.
That's pretty nasty.
Keyshawn, Jay, Will, and Zubin. Weekday mornings at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio. Or streaming live on the ESPN app.
Brent Martineau.
Daniel says we went from hot Cheetos to shampoo, raising the intellectual portion of the show.
Austin Lane.
I'm wearing a sleeveless t-shirt. What more do you want from us, man?
It's Friday.
We never said we're intellectual.
Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
I seen him scrambling around. I knew he was going to try to, hopefully, I don't have COVID, but hopefully try to get us the ball. Will give me the ball. Or, one of the big guys downfield that can go up and pinpoint it. Larry, Dan, one of us. So, I saw him back there, doing what he do, making guys miss. And, I knew I needed to put myself in position, if it came my way.
That's DeAndre Hopkins updating us on his personal health as well. DeAndre Hopkins, Kyler Murray. Welcome, everybody. ESPN 690, the Desert Edition.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to the affiliation here on in Northeast Florida. Yep. That is. Brent Martineau here at home. Probably be at home for a couple more days. Thinking of the fire pit tomorrow.
Sure.
As a destination for the
Is it getting
show.
cooler?
It's supposed to tonight, tomorrow. I mean, really all week. It's supposed to be an unbelievable week here in
Let's
Jackson.
go ahead and check that Action News Jax weather app real quick.
I
see
still
what we're
feel like
working
it's a
with.
little bit hot today. Like I went for a walk and
I saw
a workout.
64 right
I saw
now.
it was going to get low 50s tonight, though.
Brent, would you relax? It's supposed to be 72 degrees tomorrow. There's going to be no fire pits going on. I'll tell you that right
What's
now.
the low?
55.
Oh.
What do you mean, oh? That's hot. No.
That's fire pit weather.
Oh, no, Coos. You need at least below 50. At least below 50.
All right. Hey, did you do prize picks this week?
Hey, did I do prize picks?
Oh, my gosh. I'm having too much fun with prize picks.
Are you ready for this? I don't know how this thing is still in business, right? Because I'll be honest with you, Brent. I did something, and I'm not sure if it's good or not. I hit a grand slam. And they even announced it. They sent me an email, got a grand slam. I had a 4-pick entry, hit on all the 4 picks. Boom. Enough said.
You son of a gun. I've been trying to get that.
Yeah.
And I can't seem to get that.
Hey, you know what? It's not for everybody, Brett. Not for everybody.
But did pretty well. I had some fun with it. How about here's the fun part, right? Because so prizepicks.com, Prize Picks app, we've been trying it out, Austin and I, and it's a lot of fun. You can too, by the way. That's where you go, prizepicks.com, or there's an app for it. And they'll match 100% of your first deposit up to $100. And so the part that I love about it, because it is so fantasy related, like my team didn't do well. I played Coos, actually, my fantasy football team.
Rivalry week, Coos, you beat him?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, it wasn't even close, huh?
Well, let me tell you this.
It wasn't even close?
No, I don't think it is. Because
I live 140.
Did you have 140, Coos?
Something like that, yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Here's
Consolation
the
bracket.
I don't even look at it anymore because I'm looking at this. Prize Picks.
Excuses.
So, but the funny, much like, the over-under, it's all about the over-under.
Yeah.
And Lamar Jackson last night, okay?
Yep.
So I got Lamar Jackson and Cam Newton going. I got Cam Newton under and Lamar Jackson over. So Cam Newton's coming in. Lamar Jackson, if you watch the game, he's got the ball late. And it's absolutely storming like crazy.
Of course.
And he runs for like 8 yards, picks up close to a first down. Holding, wipes it out. Last play of the game, they get it off, and he throws it to, I think it was Gus Edwards. It was one of the backs. And it's like a 7 or 8 yard completion, and the guy drops it on 4th down. So that was their last play.
Mm-hmm.
I lost by 4 yards. So, but I will say this.
Keep you up at night.
Yeah. So, but in my mind, though, I'll tell you, I'll give you another one. I did one the other day, and it was Felipe Franks.
Okay.
And he throws like 80-yard bomb.
Yep.
And so, I mean, I got the under. He's like, bomb, and touchdown. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, one play?
Yeah.
Are you serious? And well, they took him out with 5 minutes to go. Winner, chicken
so you
dinner.
won it. Unbelievable.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm riding the emotional roller coaster all week.
So here's the thing, though, and listen, and keep in mind, if it's bad weather, you hit those unders all day, right? Because it's not like, so for instance, if you want to bet like an over-under thing, like at a spread, it's like, well, it's gonna the line's gonna change, right? But with Prize Picks, it's cool because that number stays the same. So if it's bad weather, if it's great weather, like that number that you have to hit, it stays the same. So if it's bad weather, obviously you could probably hit the unders a little more. You got a better chance to win. I'm gonna say this though. It takes a special type of person, and Brett, more props to you. It takes a special type of person to bet the under. I don't know how you do it, man. Like, I need action. I need overs all day. I cannot do the under.
Well, this day and age in college football, obviously the scores are off the charts. The NFL has kind of dropped down a bit. And, again, the weather has been a factor. It was stormy in Cleveland. So here's the deal. PrizePicks.com, the PrizePicks apps. You can check out different entries. You can enter 2 players, 3 players, 4 players, hit the grand slam like Austin did. You can do all that on PrizePicks.com, the PrizePicks app as well. And again, if you check it out, put the promo code Jackson, J-A-X, Jax, J-A-X, and you can get a 100% match up to your first $100 that you enter in there. So have a lot of fun with it. What you like tonight? Monday Night Football.
Monday Night Football. Now listen, as a guy that just said I don't like to bet the unders a little bit, well, we have a pretty solid Bears defense taking on the Vikings, right? I think obviously you have to go Dalvin Cook because if the Vikings want to win, that's how they win is with Dalvin Cook. And keep in mind, the Vikings, I think they still have stuff to play for. So it's not like the Vikings are out of this thing quite yet. So I like Dalvin Cook. I'm a little actually off Thielen right now. I'm actually a little off Thielen. But with that being said, I'm going to take Cook. I'll go the under on Thielen and go ahead and give me the over. And could be the dark horse, Brent. I'm taking the over on Anthony Miller.
Really?
Yeah.
You think they try to lock up Allen Robinson?
That is correct.
All right. It's a good way to play it.
Yep.
I like it. I'll tell you who's playing. You can do defensive players, too.
Yep.
And an entry for Roquan Smith might not be a bad one. He's been playing out of his mind. He's getting a lot better for Chicago. So keep an eye on that. PrizePicks.com, the PrizePicks app. Make sure you enter the code JAX, J-A-X, and get a 100% match on your first deposit up to $100. It's Daily Fantasy Simplified. Prize Picks. We're having a lot of fun with it. You can do it as well. Go check it out. Hey, some news in about, we've been talking about March Madness quite a bit, and they better have it. They better have it, right? Mm-hmm. Well, today the NCAA said they're going to try to keep it in one location, and Indiana looks like the place that it could end up being in, according to some of the reports. So at least we will have some NCAA basketball tournament, it looks like, right? We knew we'd have it. They got to find a way to do it, and a bubble in the Midwest seems to make some sense.
Oh, no, without a doubt. I mean, if that's going to be the thing, then so be it. Like, listen, I don't care what the optics look like. I don't care if there's going to be fans in the stands. I don't care where the locations are going to be. And I don't care if I can't go watch and cover it in Jacksonville for a couple games. Doesn't matter to me. As long as I have my March Madness, as long as I can come in here, on a weekday, turn on my computer screen and watch some college basketball, I'll be happy.
Yeah, and I think everybody would be happy if that is the case. We will see what happens with that. The NBA trade deadline trade deadline. The NBA activity started, free agency. And what's going to happen? Obviously, Chris Paul goes. I'll tell you, Chris Paul still plays very well, though he feels like he's 50 to me. And so now he goes to Phoenix.
Yeah.
Help us out. How does it change the landscape, Coos? Drive and Dish podcast.
For them, I think it's awesome. I mean, you saw the Suns team that went into the bubble and didn't lose a game. Obviously, they were a little too far back to, make it into the playoffs. But I think between that and then adding another player in Chris Paul, who is a certified star, to kind of mentor a little bit Devin Booker, I think it's a great move for the guys.
All right, go get the phone, and we'll keep talking about this. The NBA activity, I think, could be off the charts good. I mean, James Harden wants out. Russell Westbrook wants out of Houston. I mean, Houston's just blowing it all up, Austin.
No, it's crazy, right? Because, listen, there was a lot of hype around it, right? Harden and Westbrook, how can they coexist together? And then they kind of, define the whole landscape of small ball, if you will. And to be fair, I mean, they got pretty far with it. Obviously, they met the buzzsaw that is, I think, the Los Angeles Lakers, and it was game over from there. It's the ultimate question. Where's Westbrook going to go, right? Does he go to the Knicks? Does he go to a contender right now? I'm not sure, but I've been pretty adamant about it. I talked about it last week a little bit. I think if you take Russell Westbrook, you take him in terms of rebuilding. You don't put him on a contender just because if he couldn't really coexist with the Rockets and James Harden, what makes think he's going to coexist someplace else?
Well,
there's a contender.
I think at this point with Westbrook, it's whoever's going to be willing to take the contract.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for, the team that's closest to us, although I think you could put them on a ticket, that may be the Orlando Magic, depending on how that goes.
Well, let me ask you this, Coos. Chris Paul, he didn't have any say where he wants to go trade, did he? Do you think he really wanted to go to the Suns?
I think he can enjoy the Suns because you have Ayton, you have Booker, you have him now. I think there's a lot to go there. Yes, he's older, so you'd imagine he wants to go, try to win it all.
That's what I'm saying.
But at the end of the day, I think he's still going to be in a good situation. Now, the one I'm interested in, like you were talking about, Westbrook and Harden, I'm interested to see if Harden does end up with the Nets. That could be...
I couldn't imagine that one.
That would be wild. Hey, by the way, of course, Paul likes to go to Arizona. Kyler Murray's there.
That's a good point.
Now we'll talk about him because he is on the ESPN 690 affiliate.
That's a dang good point.
Paul. I mean, I've never talked so much about Arizona sports in my life.
No, I mean, Brent, that's a dang good point. But I would say, though, if I'm Chris Paul, and obviously the championship is it's the most significant thing. That's what's missing right now out of all my awards and things like that. Go to L.A. Go to the Clippers. The Clippers could have used him.
Yeah, but money-wise, they got Dennis Schroeder, so they got Schroeder as a great backup. So you get depth at the guard position. I think the Lakers probably don't need to spend that much money on Chris Paul because
no, I'm not saying the Lakers. I'm saying the LA Clippers.
Oh, Clippers. Sorry, yes, but even so, I mean, I don't know if they can afford that with.
I got you.
The guys they have already there.
Yeah, I think they're pretty locked up and tied up. Russell Westbrook is fascinating. I liked him in a Knicks uniform, kind of what your point was. But, boy, that'd be interesting if he get like Orlando.
Yeah.
You'd have to trade like an Aaron Gordon or something to make it work.
I don't think I'd do that.
I wouldn't either, honestly. It sounds bad, but you look at Westbrook's value, and there aren't a lot of teams that would be willing to potentially take on that contract.
It's amazing. The contract, and I think a lot of people feel the way we feel, is that I'm not sure he's going to help you win big. He's exciting. He's going to play his butt off. There's a lot of things to like about Westbrook. I just don't know if he's going to help you win big. I want to kind of keep that core that Orlando's building a little bit and add to it.
And also, hey, Dallas Mavericks fans, I see you guys out there. Giannis Antetokounmpo's not going to Dallas. So get that out of your minds right now. He's staying in Milwaukee, and we'll see you later.
All right. Back to football we go when we come back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Here on a Monday, James Robinson was awesome again. How good is this guy?
ESPN 690 Sports Center Update.
Happy Monday. I'm Jake Mitchell. There is no joy in Jacksonville as the Jags lost their 8th straight yesterday. The Green Bay Packers pass rush was just too much for the Jags O-line to contain at the end of the game. The final score was 24-20. With this loss, Jags will have a losing record 8 of the 9 years Shad Khan has owned the team. The team hung in there for a while, though, with the Pack, but here's when things started to go south, according to head coach Doug Marrone.
We were able to get good field position on 2 drives that I thought maybe we should have came out with points, and we didn't come out with points on it. I thought we were running the ball well, but we couldn't continue to stay on the field in the first half on 3rd downs, which we were 0 for 4. I think that would have helped us, if we were able to pick those up, and they seemed like they were manageable at that time.
In college football, former UF head coach Will Muschamp was let go from the University of South Carolina after struggling to a 2-5 record. OC Mike Bobo will serve as the interim head coach. You're working from home and want to listen to ESPN? Tell your smart speaker to play ESPN 690.
Escúchame, it is the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio.
We are now no longer allowed to hit quarterbacks hard under any circumstances when they're in the pocket. What you had happen was a referee wandered over, and this is what it looked like. Drew, you got a boo-boo? You hurt? And then he dropped the flag on the floor right there.
On the other side, it's so unfair. That guy got 15 yards for playing football.
For playing it great.
Yes.
For playing it well.
Yep. The Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugatz on ESPN Radio and ESPN Plus.
As the seasons change, there's one thing that never changes: the importance of clean drinking water. A Connecticut system from CGC Water removes up to 99% of contaminants. Now that's clean, and that's also why our family has a Connecticut system from CGC Water. Yours can too. Right now, CGC Water is offering a free A200 reverse osmosis drinking water system with the purchase of a Connecticut Premier Softener. Connecticut Premier Softeners are non-electric and have twin tanks, making them super efficient, saving you money. If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Schedule your free water test today and get peace of mind knowing your family's water is safe water. CGC is still taking extra precautions with in-home visits and continuing to follow CDC guidelines. Remember, this is a limited time offer, a free A200 reverse osmosis drinking water system with the purchase of a Connecticut Premier Softener. Financing available with approved credit. Just call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Serving Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia, CGC Water Treatment, your local independent Connecticut dealer.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. My training helps me at work when I lead by example. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting nationalguard.com.
Sponsored by the Florida Army National Guard. Aired by the Florida Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Hey, does your car still only play CDs? No Bluetooth? No CarPlay? You've got an old car, my friend. You know what's better than an old car? A less old car. Get a car or truck that's new to you with a great used car loan from 1-to-1 Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. Get pre-approved for a loan and shop at any dealership in town. Get a low rate and get rid of that old car today. Apply online at 1to1fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
The ultimate Christmas tradition is heading home for the holidays. Don't miss Moscow Ballet's digital stream premiere of The Great Russian Nutcracker, Saturday, December 19th. Enjoy the full-length performance of Moscow Ballet's Great Russian Nutcracker as captured on stage. Save 15% on tickets today with promo code HEART. That's HEART at MoscowBallet.com. Get up close with online meet and greets and party packages at MoscowBallet.com.
For more than 25 years, the potential for health improvement is seen with each patient that walks through our doors. Healthcare decisions don't have to be confusing. Make Island Doctors your medical practice.
My husband and I have been coming to Island Doctors for approximately 10 years, and we have been very happy with them, and we trust them.
Call us today and schedule a tour of one of our locations near you and take a look at our Best Wellness program. And welcome home.
Call 1-877-434-4676 or visit islanddoctors.com.
I'm Thea Jeffers, owner of Breezy Jazz Club and T-Works Interior Decorating. It doesn't matter where you come from, it's possible to own your own business. But starting a business isn't easy. The Jacksonville Women's Business Center helped give me the confidence to keep going when the going got tough. At JWBC, I got the training, networking, and support I needed to help me reach my goals. To find out more about how JWBC can help you, visit jaxwbc.com.
For the ones standing guard, for the eagle-eyed, for the knights in shining armor, and for all those who support them. We are Grainger, your experienced safety partner, offering supplies and solutions for every industry, committed to helping keep your facilities safe and your people safer. Call, click Grainger.com/safety, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Wendy's new classic chicken sandwich is now in the 2 for $5, and that's reason to celebrate. Try the new classic and then take your mouth on a victory lap with the iconic Dave's Single, the delicious spicy chicken sandwich, spicy or crispy 10-piece nuggets, or just get another classic chicken sandwich. Taste greatness today with Wendy's 2 for $5. We got you.
For a limited time, a la carte only. Price and participation may vary. U.S. Wendy's.
Boss, have you heard the latest about the ding-dong doorbell cameras?
What, more employees spying on customers?
Nope.
Hackers again?
No, boss, this time they had to recall over 350,000 video doorbells.
Recall? What happened?
A bunch of them caught fire.
Whoa, unbelievable. It's one thing after another with them.
Yeah. Notice you never hear that with Safe Touch's video cameras?
Well, now you're just comparing a Bentley with a bumper car.
Exactly. I just don't understand why any homeowner wouldn't go with Safe Touch.
Yeah, their video monitoring's virtually hack-proof. Oh, and here's a bonus. Safe Touch cameras don't burst into flames.
No kidding.
It's just a good thing not everyone knows about Safe Touch, because we gotta stick to the Crooks R Us golden rule. Stay away from Safe Touch houses.
Yeah, don't gotta tell me twice.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
My NFL MVP is Russell Wilson halfway through the season. Plus, like Kyler Murray, has impressed me most, Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin. 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
Honestly, I was worried about the wind and catching the ball more than anything. Luckily, that the punter was out kicking the cover, so it was less stress on catching it and getting hit and stuff like that. But after that, it's really just executing what Coach calls. He comes up with the schemes, and we just run it. And honestly, when it comes to punt return and stuff like that, you just have to get the best opportunity and hope that the punter does exactly what it is and gives you space to run. And after that, it's really just running.
That is Keelan Cole, punt return, 91-yard touchdown, longest in franchise history. Also had a nice catch. I actually love his comments after about the catch. He said he closed his eyes and hoped he didn't get hit.
Yeah.
And then got through there, and then a little Lambeau leap without fans. Quick question, Keelan Cole. Again, he's not consistently every week the guy. Like, he'll disappear for 2 or 3 weeks. But he's also had some very nice moments again this year. Are you bringing him back next season? You want him back?
It's a good question.
I'm talking I'm talking like a 2-year, $8 million deal. I don't know what the money is, but you know what I'm saying.
That's essentially what it would be, right? Listen, anytime you got a guy that can be valuable in the special teams like that in terms of returning, I keep him. Now, what the plan offensively going forward is, I mean, it's yet to be seen. But I think I would keep him just on principle of special teams, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, keep in mind they're going to lose Dede Westbrook. They're also going to lose Chris Conley, most likely.
Yeah.
So then you have Laviska Shenault, you have Colin Johnson, and you have DJ Chark. And so I think a smaller level deal with Keelan Cole doesn't hurt you. I think he brings some things to the table for you. So we'll see what they do. Hey, let's get to Sean real quick. Short segment here, but Sean, for over in Tampa, I believe, Bucks are playing well. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How you guys doing?
Good.
Doing
the
well,
Bucks
man.
are playing well this week. They didn't play well last week, I guess.
No, so I'm calling because I'm not sure if you guys are on Facebook and look at the Jags fan pages or anything like that when the games are on. But there's a huge Jacksonville following for Kyle Trask, and me personally, I'm like, listen, as a Jacksonville native, as I used to be a Jacksonville native. Like, we have to get past the Florida team for some, and like we have an affinity for UF and FSU players. And I think, do you guys have that same belief that we need to get past and look out of the UF and FSU fan base colleges as far as quarterbacks go? And how do you feel about Kyle Trask?
Sean, I appreciate the call, man. It's a very good question, and it's going to get us, obviously, in some Gator talk anyway in just a couple of minutes. But I'll be honest with you. Kyle Trask for the Jags doesn't do that much for me. Kyle Trask, I love the story. I think he has a chance in the NFL. I just don't like the fit here in Jacksonville. And that's not a Florida State, Florida thing. But I just don't love him here in Jacksonville. And maybe I'm dead wrong, but I say that about Mac Jones too, and that's an Alabama guy. I don't like – I want somebody more mobile. I really do. I want somebody more mobile than those guys. They can move a little bit, but not enough for me.
No, for sure. And listen, if you're based off of history and the analytics, history has shown that anytime the Jaguars draft a guy from Florida, well, it hasn't always worked out that well here.
Yeah, well, I don't get wrapped. Good players are good players, okay? It's your job to go find a good players. I don't care if they're from Murray State, Ashland University, Florida, Florida State. I don't think GMs and everybody else get wrapped up. Oh, we can't take another guy from Florida.
No, hey, listen, I understand that. I'm just saying that when the Jaguars have drafted guys from Florida, has it worked out or not?
Yeah, it hasn't because they didn't pick a good enough player, not because he was a Gator. It's worked okay at Florida State. Ramsey, Telvin Smith, those guys are Pro Bowl caliber players.
Are they here?
It didn't work out in the long term.
Are they here?
No, but it worked out for a bit.
Okay. Well, I mean, but did it work out, though? Because they're not here anymore, Brent. So how well did it really work out?
Is Kyle Trask the best quarterback in the country in 2020? We'll find out. We'll talk about it.
Okay.
When we come back. Think about that over the break, everybody.
I'm going to marinate on that one a little bit.
Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Nothing is certain except death and taxes. And your appliance is breaking down as soon as they're out of warranty. At Atlantic Coast Appliance, we can't help with the first two, but we've got the third one covered. Our factory-trained and certified technicians have been repairing appliances for more than 35 years, with a 90-day warranty on parts and labor and a 100% satisfaction guarantee. For quality repair at a price that's fair, trust Atlantic Coast Appliance. AtlanticCoastAppliance.com. That's AtlanticCoastAppliance.com.
Worthless warranties, slimy salespeople, shady subcontractors. It's no wonder people don't trust most roofing companies. At All Pro Roofing and Consulting LLC, we didn't trust them either. That's why we started our own roofing company. With more than 25 years of experience, we offer industry-leading warranties, simple, fair financing, and no subcontractors. Residential, commercial, even multifamily properties. At All Pro Roofing and Consulting, we've got you covered. Learn more at allproroofingllc.com.
The First Coast is booming. With interest rates at historic lows, there has never been a better time to call Brandon Ponsel and his network of local experts at Jags Coastal Homes. You can visit them at jagscoastalhomes.com or call them today at 904-206-9480 and mention ESPN 690 to receive up to $2,500 towards your closing cost. Need to sell? Powered by the unparalleled technology of EXP, Brandon will guarantee the sale of your home in under 60 days, or he'll sell it for free. The First Coast market is on the move. Are you?
In the 4 decades that Beards has been in business, never have they had a sale with discounts this big.
Believe it, because Beards Diamonds will never be beat on price.
Save up to 40% on everything store-wide.
Shop the largest inventory in North Florida.
All GIA certified loose diamonds, engagement rings, pendants, all designer settings, on sale up to 40% off.
Now through November 30th at the St. John's Town Center or at beardsdiamonds.com.
ESPN 690 wants you to shop the 904. And by doing that, you keep most of the money and jobs right here on the First Coast. Plus, local businesses give our community its uniqueness and character that makes living on the First Coast so great.
Shop the 904.
Need your carpet and tile looking great for the special holiday party? Give Zero Res a call. Zero Res technicians are cleaning freaks.
Zero Res.
This
is Greeny.
I'll tell you who Kyler Murray. People are going to compare him to Michael Vick. He doesn't look anything like Michael Vick to me. People are going to compare him to Lamar Jackson. He doesn't look anything like Lamar Jackson to me. You know who he looks like? If Barry Sanders was a quarterback, he'd have been Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray runs like Barry Sanders. You watch him run, and he's a great quarterback. He's a great thrower of the football. He's the closest thing to Steve Young. That's the best analogy to it.
Greeny, weekdays at noon Eastern on ESPN Radio, your smart speaker, and on the ESPN app.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi, developing story from ESPN's Ed Werder. Medical tests reveal Saints quarterback Drew Brees has multiple rib fractures on both sides of his chest and a collapsed lung on the right side. Brees unsure how much time he might miss. Doctors have cautioned him to be especially cautious with the damage to his lung. In the first big move of the after the NBA's trade window opened, ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reporting the Suns agreed in principle on a deal to acquire Thunder guard Chris Paul. The package heading to OKC includes Ricky Rubio and Kelly Oubre, plus a 2022 first-round pick. The trade makes Phoenix a real factor in the West, explains Woj.
The Suns, who played great in the bubble this summer with Monty Williams, Chris Paul, this is the first time in a very long time Robert Sarver has had this kind of leadership with this organization. And Chris Paul gets a chance to be with a young team with very much of an upward trajectory in the Western Conference.
The NCAA is in talks with Indianapolis to be the host city for the entire 2021 men's basketball tournament. The NCAA wants one geographic location because of risks associated with the pandemic.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. We're close, convenient, and known for our guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. This is Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
You know, it's the conditions that we played in, and both teams had to play in it. It's not anything I'm not used to growing up, you know, in the Northwest, playing in cold, windy games. So I don't think it was a huge factor. You got to go out and execute no matter what the conditions are.
Guessing that's Jake Luton.
Yep.
I'm trying to get used to that voice. Jags played well. Hey, I want one more thought on the Jags for now. Well, many thoughts on the Jags, but just get back to it for a bit. We're talking about Keelan Cole, and good conversation going on about Keelan Cole. And Dilla actually just brought up Keenan McCardell and that relationship. That could be important for a guy like Keelan Cole, and I agree with that. I don't know what's going to happen in the offseason. I think there's going to be sweeping changes. I would love for whoever, if there is a change, whoever comes in here to keep Keenan McCardell. I think he's done a fantastic. I think he's done a fantastic job. I think he's good. I think he's maybe a star in the coaching ranks, and it would be nice to see him stay. I think it's a little bit early and premature for that conversation, but just because his name got brought up, it made me think of that a little bit.
No, without a doubt. And, listen, anytime that you bring a new regime in, whether it's in college or in the pros, it always helps to kind of at least maintain one guy that was on the old regime because, we always talk about the players, right? You want to have those bridge guys in. When you're trying to tear everything down, you still have to have the bridge guys there to kind of show the way a little bit of what it means, to be part of that team. I think the same thing can be said about coaching, where if you're coaches, you try to tear it all down. It's important to keep a guy from the old regime just so it's hey, how do things get done here? They have experience, obviously, coaching the team. And just, it's kind of like a confidant at the end of the day. So I absolutely agree with you. I think that they should keep him. But, hey, how about this? One other note on the Jags. I mentioned a couple of segments ago going to break. James Robinson, man. I just think it's worth bringing him up all the time. I mean, you can't go past the Jags game without bringing up James Robinson. He's now 5th in the NFL in rushing, 689 yards this year, and that goes with a couple hundred other yards
from receiving. He had 2 touchdowns called back yesterday, and he's behind Derrick Henry, and he's not going to catch Derrick. He's behind Dalvin Cook, and I don't think he's going to catch Dalvin. And by the way, Dalvin's done it in 7 games.
Mm-hmm.
Ronald Jones, he's played an extra game, and he's 40 yards ahead of James Robinson, so he'll catch him next week. I'm assuming Tampa has a bye this week. Josh Jacobs is just 11 yards ahead. I mean, and he's ahead of guys like Kareem Hunt and Kenyon Drake and Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Todd Gurley and Ezekiel Elliott and James Conner. How about this? Your guy. Kyler Murray is 8th in the NFL in rushing. That's unbelievable.
I mean, yeah. I mean, Brian, what are you doing, man? Like, did you want me to start going off on another long rant about him again?
No.
Well, then don't give me the ammunition, man. I'm trying to help you out today.
Well, I'm just saying.
That's for tomorrow.
When they move him to running back next year, don't be surprised.
Hey, all I'm going to say is sleep good tonight, okay? Because you got a big day tomorrow.
All right,
That's all I'm going to say.
Question I have out there right now, and let's talk a little bit about the Gators and Kyle Trask, because Sean just asked the question, you know, do you stay away from the Gators? And I disagree with that, okay? If you have a good Florida Gator, you have a Florida. It's the player. It's not the school. These guys don't look at that. I think you put them on a board and you don't put the Gator head next to the name on the board.
Sure.
And so, but Kyle Trask specifically for the Jaguars, I don't know where he's going to go in the draft. I've been saying this for the last month or so when asked this question, is I don't know in today's game if his style is going to drive him up boards, even though his play is. And I don't think you can dismiss it, but like they were making this reference the other night, I think it was Dan Orlovsky. Is he Dak Prescott just because he worked with Dan Mullen? And that's a fair question, and Prescott was a 4th-round pick? I don't know. You know, Dak Prescott is a strong leader.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know enough about Trask. And I'm not saying we knew that about Dak Prescott at the time. What we have is we found out about that, right?
Yeah.
And so he's a super leader of men, and they follow him. And he's a physical runner when he needs to. He's not an electric runner, but he can run and get away from things. And he's obviously matured in a nice situation. So Trask might be that guy.
Yeah.
You don't do what he's doing by accident. Guy's putting on a show. So I don't know where he fits in the NFL, Austin. But I'll say this. I'm starting to wonder if he fits as the best quarterback of the 2020 season in college football.
I mean, in terms of numbers, you know, that's it's definitely justified. I'm going to say that. In terms of what type of NFL quarterback is he going to be, I mean, that's the $1 million question with Kyle Trask. And listen, I mean, this guy, when we're still pretty early in the season here, but I mean, let's say this guy is in the running for the Heisman Trophy. You know, let's say he's getting all the accolades, getting all the attention. Well, then you can't really deny that type of guy. The only question I'm going to bring up is, and listen, this is what I've noticed with the Florida Gators so far. And let's be honest, one of the best offenses in the entire country. Now, you know how I feel about it. I think Alabama's a notch above. You disagree with me. But needless to say, they're one of the best offenses in the country. But when the play breaks down a little bit, you know, and let's be honest, in the NFL, there's a lot of great pass rushers out there. So when the play breaks down a little bit, what does Kyle Trask show you? And I think that, like you said, in terms of mobility, like, yeah, he can run. And, you know, I mean, any quarterback these days can get out of the pocket, let's be honest. But I think that you have to ask yourself is his mobility actually a little detriment where, sure, he can get out of the pocket, but can he extend the plays? Like, it's one thing if he's got 2 reads he's got to go over. He's got the wide receivers. He's got Kyle Pitts when he's healthy, and everything's hunky-dory. But it's another thing when you don't have those guys, when the pocket breaks down, and now you have to create a play with creativity and your legs. And I'm not sure if Kyle Trask is to that point quite yet.
Yeah, I have a hard time with this one, too, because I don't want to take anything away from the young man. He's a phenomenal story. I love his story about commitment, perseverance, believing in yourself, getting the most out of your opportunity, all those things. Dan Mullen talked about that this weekend, and I'm right there with Mullen on that. I think, listen, I mean, if you have kids, you show the Trask story. You show the Mac Jones story. You show those guys. I mean, it's unbelievable. It is really an amazing thing what he's doing this year. But I do say, like, Dan Mullen's very good with offense. He's very good with quarterbacks. He gets the most out of quarterbacks. He has proven that. You know, Mullen has some things that might drive you nuts a little bit, and we talk about those things.
Yeah.
But he is damn good at calling plays and making the best out of an offense. He can make some chicken salad out of you-know-what now. and when he doesn't, when he has more than you-know-what, that chicken salad is really good.
Listen.
And right now, that thing is good. That's a best-selling chicken salad right now the Florida Gators are dishing out.
Without a doubt. And I think it begs the question even going forward now in the next couple of years, like if Dan Mullen can keep sustaining this type of offense, right, because it's an offensive-driven league right now in the NFL, I seriously wonder if he starts getting suitors to come coach the NFL.
He will.
Yeah.
He will, but
So,
I just don't like that fit either.
no,
Go
for
ahead.
sure. So with Kyle Trask, and I've watched a couple of Florida Gators games, and to me, he reminds me of a guy, and I follow this guy a little bit because, well, he played in the same conference as I did back in college, and that's Eastern Illinois, the Panthers, if you will. And by the way, got nothing but disrespect for the Panthers. And I mean, with all due respect, but forget the Eastern Illinois Panthers. They were sponsored by New Balance, by the way, when I was playing. Seriously.
Should've been Skechers.
Hey, I'm not even right. I'm not even exaggerating. What college football team is sponsored by New Balance? Regardless of that, though, Jimmy Garoppolo. Right, where Jimmy Garoppolo, he had the arm talent. He's from a smaller school, keep in mind. He's not playing the SEC. But I think it's a guy where if you give him the right system, sure, he can shine and he can be successful, but you don't think of mobility with Jimmy Garoppolo. You think of kind of like a steady rock, I think, a little bit when he's firing with Jimmy Garoppolo. Do you sense any kind of Jimmy Garoppolo vibes with Kyle Trask?
That's a good call. I don't think of him in that sense.
Keep in mind, though, you have to take away the Jimmy Garoppolo in San Fran. And this is more of like the college Jimmy Garoppolo, which you probably haven't seen a lot of.
Nah, it's a good call.
Yeah.
By the way, is Tony Romo Eastern Illinois guy too?
Correct.
Yeah,
Nice call. Nice call.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know if I could fully answer that question. I'd probably be making something up if I did. But it's an interesting comp. I'll go back and check it out.
Yeah.
I don't. It's a weird thing, right? They put up a stat during the Saturday night the Gators game, and it was touchdown passes. I think through 5 games. I think was the stat, and whatever he's at now, 28 or 29. And Tua was in that. He had broken that record, and Joe Burrow. And I just can't help but look at it and be like, my gosh, the game has changed this much. This much. The SEC has changed this much, in a handful of years. Because all these guys are from the last 3 years setting records.
It's insane.
I mean, it's unbelievable. They cannot be stopped offensively. Like, you cannot stop them. And I know everybody's talking about Florida, and they should. Everybody's talking about Kyle Trask, and they should. And the Heisman push. And again, I think he might be the best quarterback in the country this year. Trevor Lawrence has missed a couple of games. Justin Fields only played 3 games. The best sample size I have is Mac Jones and Kyle Trask. And Kyle Trask, I think, is even playing better than Mac Jones. I do. I mean, you can't do more than Kyle. How do you play better?
No,
than he's playing,
Yeah.
So it's unbelievable what they are doing. You can't stop it. But I'll also bring up this. I watched the Ole Miss game the other night. You couldn't stop that either. Matt Corral, Will Muschamp's a defensive guy, and I know he's now on his way out, and that's part of the reason.
Yeah.
You couldn't stop it.
No.
You can't stop good offense in the college game. And right now, Mullen is so good at calling plays. And so is Lane Kiffin, by the way, deserves a lot of credit for the way he calls plays. Matt Corral is dealing. Kyle Trask is dealing. We know what Sarkisian and Mac Jones have done. We usually see it from Trevor Lawrence and Dabo and Ryan Day and Justin Fields. These offenses are so good at what they do with a very good quarterback engineering. And it's almost like I don't know how good they are projecting them forward, Austin, because I feel like the partnership between coach and quarterback is so good that what's going to happen when you break away from that?
Yeah, it's a good call. And listen, it's been definitely a weird year in terms of how the game of college football is being played. And I think it's interesting, right? Because you talk about Alabama, we talk about Florida, we talk about Ole Miss. There's a lot of great offenses this year, right? BYU, great offense. Indiana, pretty good offense. Miami, great offense. But to me, Ohio State, great offense. But and I think Ohio State's in the category too as well. But to me, Alabama, Ohio State, Florida, and Ole Miss, every time they're on the field, they're gonna score. If they don't score a touchdown, that's a disservice. That's a loss for them. That's where we're at right now in this game, which is insane to think about, but it's the truth. So I don't know if it's going to sustain after this year. I don't know what you do to combat it. Like, at the end of the day, it's pretty obvious. You know, like, when you have 3 or 4 receivers on the field, those receivers, those skill position guys, their talent right now, for whatever reason, is outweighing the defensive backs' talent. And that's evident. Now, whether that's because defensive guys haven't played together a lot because the pandemic and they haven't had time to get the time, whatever the reason may be, it's definitely an outlier season, and it just begs the question, can they sustain this?
Yeah, I'm not sure it's as much an outlier of just the way the game has gone, and until they change rules or make it, listen, they just have continually stripped down defenses.
Yeah.
Can't do this, can't do this, can't do this. You hit them
True.
hard, you're getting ejected. It's targeting. It's listen, player safety is important. And here's the thing. I catch myself doing this because I go back and I'm like, this is out of control. This is insane. I went back and added up all the points in the game Saturday. Every college football game. That at least when the time I did it, it was like 11:30 at night, and so there were still a couple games still being played or the ends of games, so the numbers were even higher. But I counted up, what was it? I wanted to say there were 40, I think like something like maybe it was 50. It was 2,500 points. So however much that divided by however many games were played, it equaled 58 points combined in the games. So on average on Saturday, there were the over-under was 58 and like a half. That was the average. That was even like the Indiana game mixed in. That was 24-0.
Yeah.
So the average. I mean, there were some games that went 112 points.
Yeah.
Combined. I mean, and not just one. There were multiple games like that. So it's the way the game is. But here's where the catch-22 is for me. It sounds like I'm complaining about it. I don't think I'm necessarily complaining about it. I just think it's so different, and I'm pointing it out. But you know what games I was flipping back and forth between Saturday night?
What's that?
That one and Ole Miss.
Yeah.
I was watching Ole Miss play South Carolina. Why the hell do I care about Ole Miss and South Carolina?
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
But I was entertained by Lane Kiffin's offense. It was backyard football, man. And it's fun. Like, we used to play it. Like, when I did play video games, what were the more fun games to play? 17-14 or 63-61?
That's a good point.
Right? So, I mean, it's the world we're living in. It's okay. I actually find myself enjoying it. But it also is like, do we give these folks just this and put them on a pedestal for this unbelievable offense, or do we just say, hey, this is the way the game is played now? It's like what I say about the NBA. There's 500 guys in the NBA that average 16 points a game.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't make you great in the NBA if you score 18 points. It makes you an NBA player.
Well, no, listen, and I knew this season was going to be different when I watched that Ole Miss-Alabama game. And I get it. Alabama has kind of changed the narrative and changed the identity to a more offensive-driven team, putting up points. But come on, man, it's still Alabama. It's still Nick Saban. Like, you have to have some kind of pride on defense. Well, they really didn't when they played Ole Miss, because it was literally back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Now, I get what you're saying, man. And for the most part, I agree with you. But you know how I feel about it, right? I'm a defensive guy, and shame on you. Shame on you for watching that Ole Miss-South Carolina game. Shame on you for watching the Florida-Arkansas game and not even flicking on that Wisconsin Badger Michigan Wolverine game. Because if you need a palate cleanser on how to play defense, if you need a palate cleanser of what college football is supposed to be, watch the Wisconsin Badgers, please.
Under about that?
I mean, come on, Brent. Come on now.
I might have had Mertz in a little under prize picks.
Oh, yeah.
And you look up and he's got 49 points.
Yep.
And the guy threw for like 100 yards.
I mean, listen. And that's your mistake, though. Because why? Because you didn't ask me about that one, right? You should have asked me, because you let one game kind of influence you a little bit against the Illinois Fighting Illini. It's not even the Fighting Illini anymore. It's just the Illini. They're not fighting anything. So with that being said, you let one game influence your decision. And listen, I was scared too. All of a sudden, Graham Mertz throwing 5 touchdowns his first game. I'm like, what happened to my meat and potato Wisconsin Badgers who like to pound the rock and play great defense? Well, we saw that take place against the Michigan Wolverines. Hey, Wisconsin fans, no need to panic. They're still running the ball. They're still going to use 2 fullbacks every once in a while. It's going to be okay.
Okay, and since we're here, and we'll probably talk about it more as the week goes along, I mean, have you ever – I'm sure we have, right? Florida's been down.
Yeah.
Miami's been down. Florida State is down. But Michigan, I mean, they thought they were pretty good, you know.
No, I hear you.
And by the way, Penn State, they thought they might be very good.
For sure.
I mean, Penn State and Michigan, what an embarrassment. You know, James Franklin has gone from maybe a candidate to move to the NFL to now in a month, like, oh, boy.
Yeah.
And Harbaugh's always getting criticized anyway until he beats Ohio State.
Yeah.
But, I mean, now we might be talking about them parting ways sooner than later.
No, without a doubt. And listen, I'm kind of put in an awkward situation here because, yes, obviously I root for the Wisconsin Badgers. And, yeah, I thought the Badgers were going to deal with Michigan pretty handily. But, like, I'm not going to get ahead of myself here. Like, yeah, it was a great win for Wisconsin. It was a great showcase, yada, yada, yada. But, I mean, Michigan is bad. And, like, to me, and with all due respect to Coach Tuck out there, you know, Mel Tuck at Michigan State, you know, Michigan State put it on him a little bit. And you see how Michigan State's doing this year.
Yes.
Okay? They're struggling.
I don't think they've scored in another game.
Exactly. So, with that being said, and Michigan State put it on Michigan, I mean, I didn't see it coming. Is Michigan going to play Ohio State this year still? Do we know that?
I think that's in. I think
that's still in the cards.
Yeah, I think that's.
I mean, listen, get the family and kids away from the TV people in Michigan because you don't want to watch that Ohio State game. Talking about one of the biggest rivalries in college football, and you're taking on the Ohio State Buckeyes and Justin Fields, where every single game is a showcase for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Come on, man. Like, listen, I'm not sure what's going to happen with Harbaugh, and I'm not sure what kind of excuse you can use for the pandemic this year, but I think if we expect the Ohio State game to go the way we think it's going to go, I think you might see Jim Harbaugh out of there, man.
Well, yeah. I think that'll be that'll
be the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, listen, he's got a huge contract, all that stuff. But,
yeah.
You know, South Carolina, which we're going to get into this tomorrow a little bit, just not time today, about the optics of doing that and these big buyouts at this time in the pandemic, especially when we're ramping back up to whatever this pandemic may lead us. But, I mean, I just can't get over the fact that, again, I just tweeted it too, and I said it. Florida's been down, but when Florida was down, we were shocked that it went to 4-8, and then they were like, everybody's like, well, they ain't gonna be that good there this year either. Florida State, it's like it's shocking that it's gotten to this point, but nobody in Tallahassee or beyond thought Florida State would be that good this year. So this is no longer as surprising. It's surprising they're in here. It's surprising they're down to the depths they are, but it's not surprising that here in 2020 they're not very good. Michigan and Penn State thought they were going to be good.
We all did. At least I did. Thought they were going to be good.
I had Penn State in the Final Four. And look at them. I mean, that is unbelievable that when you think you're going to be good and you become this, and you're at those schools. I mean, again, to become this is devastating at one of these programs.
Brett,
to think you might be good and become this in that year is like, whoa, baby.
Let me go and ask you this. Bigger disappointment this year, Penn State Nittany Lions, Michigan Wolverines, or the LSU Tigers?
You said Penn State, Michigan, or LSU?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, remove LSU. LSU is highly disappointing. They're probably the worst team in the SEC, in my opinion.
Sure.
Worse than Vanderbilt. But they lost everybody. Like, if you put it in context, they lost their entire football team.
They're still the defending national champions, though.
I understand, and that is, again, in the landscape of it all, it's like, holy cow, man, right?
Yeah.
But it's Michigan by far.
Okay.
Well, I shouldn't say by far. I just think Michigan because it's louder with Harbaugh. Mm-hmm. And it was already loud enough because he can't beat his rivals, and he can't beat anybody that's good. You know, Franklin has earned a little bit of equity now because he's had some good seasons, but even this is like mind-boggling. So I think to answer your question, it's Michigan.
Well, and listen, and by the way, what year are we in where we're all looking forward to, hey, Indiana, Ohio State? Can't wait for that barn burner. Are you kidding me?
They're good. That's part of my Give Me One thing this weekend as well. Coming up next, the Masters. And we're not going to really talk from a golf perspective, from an overall sports perspective. Want you in the discussion. Come back next on ESPN 690.
Action Sports Jax with Brent Martineau on ESPN 690 is brought to you by Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park.
Now, the first alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Cooler air continues to move into the area. Under clear skies tonight, we drop down into the 40s. Sunshine for tomorrow and Wednesday. Tomorrow's high 73. Wednesday, a breezy day with highs near 70 degrees. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. It's Beard's Diamonds 40th anniversary sale. Save up to 40% off store-wide till November 30th. When it comes to buying your next ride, everybody wants to save big. Well, you can with my friends at Arlington Toyota. Right now, they're having their 50% off pre-owned event. You heard right. You can save thousands when you pay up to 50% less MSRP on pre-owned at Arlington. And Arlington's got over 400 vehicles ready for you to choose from. You want to save on a Corolla? Get to Arlington where you can buy a pre-owned 2020 Corolla LE for just $11,991. Everybody loves Camrys. And with up to 50% less, you can get a pre-owned 2020 Camry SE from just $17,991. Now, if you love the RAV4, then get one and save big at Arlington, where a pre-owned 2020 RAV4 XLE can be yours from just $19,991. Leave it to the #1 volume Toyota dealer in Northeast Florida to also give you a 30-day exchange policy with your purchase. That's 30 days to love it or exchange it. It's the 50% off pre-owned event happening right now at Arlington Toyota, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit arlingtontoyota/50off for full offer details.
Worthless warranties, slimy salespeople, shady subcontractors. It's no wonder people don't trust most roofing companies. At All Pro Roofing and Consulting LLC, we didn't trust them either. That's why we started our own roofing company. With more than 25 years of experience, we offer industry-leading warranties, simple, fair financing, and no subcontractors. Residential, commercial, even multifamily properties. At All Pro Roofing and Consulting, we've got you covered. Learn more at allproroofingllc.com.
It's Daily Fantasy Simplified. It's as simple as over and under. PrizePicks.com or the PrizePicks app is the place that pits you against the numbers. Don't worry about your fantasy lineup or a big injury that might hurt your team. On PrizePicks, you simply select 2, 3, or 4 players and predict if they will go over or under their fantasy projections. It's easy, it's fun, it's one-on-one. You against the numbers. PrizePicks.com or the PrizePicks app. Use the promo code JAX, J-A-X, to get a 100% match on your first deposit. Get started at PrizePicks.com.
Do you know a child who is deaf, hard of hearing, blind, or visually impaired? The Florida School for the Deaf and Blind in St. Augustine offers a tuition-free educational program to prepare the child for a lifetime of success. FSDB offers free comprehensive education, transportation, and boarding services at no cost to all eligible deaf or blind students, elementary through high school, no matter where the student lives in Florida. Call 800-344-3737 or log on to www.fsdbk12.org to learn more.
This following message is brought to you by the Florida Division of Emergency Management, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and its radio station.
This is Max Mayfield, former director of the National Hurricane Center. This hurricane season, you need to update your family preparedness plan so it includes COVID-19 preparations. So when a storm threatens, be ready to prepare your home and have your family hurricane kit ready. It includes supplies for your pets and enough COVID-19 sanitizers, disinfectant wipes, and masks. Know your zone, know your home. For more information, go to floridastorms.org.
There's a new modern patient-centered orthopedic practice in Jacksonville.
We believe that the patient pays money for a doctor and should be seen by a doctor.
Ortho Edge.
They're getting the most technologically available medicine there is.
Ortho Edge.
You're going to get a much better experience with your physician. We all see our patients.
Get the answers right away and more focused care on patients.
Find out more about us at orthoedge.com.
Ortho Edge are in the DePaul building attached to St. Vincent's Medical Center, Riverside.
ESPN 690 wants you to shop the 904. And by doing that, you keep most of the money and jobs right here on the First Coast. Plus, local businesses give our community its uniqueness and character that makes living on the First Coast so great.
Shop the 904.
This Movember, here's to the straggly mustaches, the lopsided ones, the itchy, patchy, raggedy ones. Hey, I look good with this ones. The ones grown by Dad, the ones grown for Dad. Because whatever you grow will save a bro. Learn more at Movember.com.
With the recent storms, are you sure your roof wasn't damaged due to hail, winds, or heavy rains? There's no way to tell unless you climb up there and check it out. Don't even think about getting a ladder out. Plus, would you even know what to look for? Let the pros at Universal Roof and Contracting take a look to be sure your home and family are safe. Schedule a free roof inspection today with Universal Roof and Contracting. Call now, 855-ROOF-HELP. That's 855-ROOF-HELP, or visit them at universalroof.com. That's universalroof.com. CCC 1330747, CBC 1258484.
Slip and falls can be embarrassing, leaving you in pain and feeling like you've lost control. I'm Glenn Levine from the law offices of Anajar & Levine. After a fall, document the scene by taking photographs. Make sure to get medical attention for any injuries you may have. If you've been injured in a slip and fall, call the law offices of Anajar & Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
No matter what you are driving, you can step up to luxury now at any of the Fields Auto Group dealerships in Jacksonville. Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. So whatever you're driving, see Fields first and step up to luxury for less during this amazing opportunity. Visit fieldsauto.com.
Boss, hit the gas! What's going on? You were supposed to check to see if that house had anyone home. Now their porch is on fire.
Boss, I didn't do it. The ding-dong doorbell camera just burst into flames and started melting.
Oh, so it's true. Those things are fire hazards.
Yeah, and now we know another big difference between those cheap ding-dong doorbell cameras and a SafeTouch security system.
Well, yeah, with SafeTouch, homeowners don't have to worry about their video cameras getting hacked.
Or employees spying on customers.
Or bursting into flames.
Uh-oh. Fire department's coming, boss. Time to go.
I'm way ahead of you. By the way, your eyebrows are completely gone.
Oh, well. Maybe it's an improvement.
Just so I know you still got your senses, recite the Crooks R Us golden rule again.
Stay away from SafeTouch houses. Don't worry. It's burned into my brain.
Crooks know to stay away from SafeTouch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of SafeTouch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call SafeTouch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Vote for this week's ESPN 690 High School Athlete of the Week, presented by Honda of the Avenues. Each week, an athlete with the most votes will be announced on Action Sports Jax. To vote or nominate your favorite student athlete, go to ESPN690.com or check us out on ESPN 690's Facebook page.
Austin Lane.
Are we on right now or not? Like our screen? I guess we're good.
Brent Martineau.
Yeah, you got to go all the way. Yeah, we're back. Thanks for your concern.
You're welcome.
Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
I definitely wouldn't believe you or wouldn't believe myself. It's a dream come true. It's as a kid, always dreamed about, being a Masters champion.
It's okay.
It's hard to talk.
You've earned this right.
But, it's just incredible, obviously, as you can tell.
Hey, I had a lot of dreams as a kid. Not one of them was win the Masters championship. But I see you, Dustin Johnson.
You know, everybody says that about dreams.
What's that?
Everybody does say that. Like, I had a dream to win the Masters. I had a dream to play for the Red Sox. I honestly, if I was there right now, right? If I'm playing big league baseball, and somebody's like, and I'd probably say like, oh yeah, I dreamt like this as a kid, but I can't recall dreaming any of that as a kid. If I'm being completely honest, that's my point.
Well, I'm saying, obviously you're the avid golfer, Brent. You never had a dream one time to put on that green jacket and.
I wasn't an avid golfer as a kid.
No?
No.
Really?
Golf wasn't even – I watched it, but I watched as much tennis as I watched golf.
Huh, okay.
And I played basketball and baseball. So my guess is I pretended to be Larry Bird.
I was going to say,
there
could be Larry Bird comments, yeah.
But that was in my driveway. Like, I guess
doing layups in the driveway like Larry Bird.
I guess there's just this reality that I knew I'd never make it, so I never dreamt it.
You're a realist, Brent. Yeah. I respect that.
Now, hey, I'm not going to lie to you. This is going to sound corny and dumb and all the rest.
Yeah.
I dreamed a hell of a lot more of doing this.
Yeah.
than I did about playing.
Well, I mean, hey, we have the audio to prove that. We have you when you were a kid doing this thing. So I respect it. Listen, I mean, especially even nowadays, man, like in a world where it's like, hey, pursue your dreams, follow your dreams. If you believe it, you can achieve it. We had the realist in Brent Martin where it's like, you know what, man? I'm a little too short to play this basketball thing. I'm going to do sports radio instead.
Yeah, well,
I respect that.
Well, I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm not calling Dustin Johnson a liar. I think he's all in golf, and I think you do practice that putt, and you say this is to win the Masters, and whatever. To be honest with you, though, one thing I did when I was like 20-something, when I got into golf a little bit more in my mid-20s, I'm like, I want to get good enough so I can qualify for the U.S. Open as a senior when I turn 50. Because, U.S. Open, like anybody can qualify.
Really?
Yeah, if you have a certain handicap.
But I'm saying, even if you're not necessarily like a known pro,
that's right.
If you still have a couple good rounds, you're good to go.
Well, that's why. By the way, how about the shout out to Josh Scobie today here in the office? But Scobie has tried many times to qualify for the U.S. Open, not the senior one, but the U.S. Open.
Okay.
And so the U.S. Open and the senior Open, they work that way, where you could try to qualify as an amateur. And so I said that. I remember saying that. I was like, I'm gonna get good enough at golf so I can. And that hasn't happened, and that is not trending in a good direction by the age of 50. So,
well, let me go and ask you this, Brent. What constitutes qualifying for the Senior Open? Like, how old do you have to be for that?
50. You have to be 50.
50. Okay.
50 or older.
Okay.
Yeah, so
and obviously you can be over 50, but still play in the regular PJ Tour as well.
You can. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's why, like Mickelson right now, Jim Furyk, those guys are bouncing back and forth.
Okay.
On the tour, but to that point. I have it was probably a couple years ago, let's see, Ty is 15, and maybe he was like 13 years old, and I was like, so what do you guys, what do you want to do? Like, Kaylee, I think, is pretty confident she wants to be a teacher, like her mom.
Cool.
I'm like, Ty likes sports and stuff, but I don't think he wants to do it. I can't get him in front of a microphone. He'd be better at this than me.
Sure.
If he'd talk in front of on a microphone, but he doesn't want to. And so I remember asking him a couple years back, I'm like, well, what do you want to do, man? What are you going to do? Like, I'm going to play baseball.
Yeah.
Hey. So I was like, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go hit.
Yeah. I like that, man.
I don't know if he still feels that way.
Sure. But you guys working like it.
Yeah. I mean, he does. He puts a lot of work into it, and it's interesting. Down here, I think that's a little bit more prominent and prevalent because you see guys, so many good players, and kind of like that in golf. If I was a golfer growing up down here, you'd be like, oh, wow, I mean, I can match up with that guy, that guy, that guy.
Yeah.
There's so many good golfers. So anyway, that's a roundabout way to get to the Masters. And Dustin Johnson wins. And I said this at the beginning of the show. I love the Masters. I love golf. But that was a boring Sunday at the Masters. I mean, it really was. And that's a credit to Dustin Johnson. Cameron Smith, if you really like golf, he's a Jacksonville Beach resident. He's from Australia, but he lives in Jax Beach. And he made two of the most incredible shots I think you'll see on a Sunday at Augusta. Mm-hmm. And nobody will ever talk about him. 7th hole, 9th hole, out of the woods, stuffed it, and made birdie while he was in contention to make a little bit of run. But nobody was getting excited about Cameron Smith making a run at Dustin Johnson. The problem with Sunday is Justin Thomas, John Rahm, even Rory, those kind of guys, they didn't make this massive push up the leaderboard to be like, uh-oh, here they come. Dustin, look at the leaderboard. It never happened, never materialized. So I thought it was a pretty boring Sunday. The whole thing was fantastic, but I thought it was a boring Sunday. Dustin Johnson's an interesting guy because he is ultra talented. Mm-hmm. He's also, ultra boring. He is very he shows no personality. That moment where he is crying right there.
Yeah.
Is an unbelievable sign of vulnerability that we have never seen from Dustin Johnson.
Yeah.
Never, ever seen it. He's won a lot of big events, big tournaments. He's had catastrophic events happen to him at tournaments. And it's like, does this guy have a pulse?
Yeah.
He's that kind of guy.
Yeah.
And so to see that emotion shows you how much it meant to him to win that event. And so I take it here, Austin.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I thought of. I hear this all the time. Tiger Woods, Jack Nicklaus, Dustin Johnson, Jordan Spieth, Bubba Watson. Guys that some are just really genuine guys. Other guys are not really that genuine all the time.
Okay.
And yet they talk about this golf tournament like it's the holy grail of holy grails. It is definitely the tournament, especially once they've won. That trip up Magnolia Lane. I mean, there is just something that makes all these guys nostalgic emotional and vulnerable that they don't usually show anywhere else on the planet when they're playing. And my takeaway this weekend as I continued to watch that was I don't know if there is an event in sports that means more to an athlete than the Masters means to a golfer.
Ooh. Wow.
I don't know. Now, listen, we can pick a lot of them.
Yeah.
And I mean, the Indy 500 to a racer
without a doubt,
is unbelievable, right?
Daytona to a NASCAR driver.
Well, I don't think that would fit.
Interesting. Okay.
I think it fits for some. Like, I think the closest one for Daytona would be Dale Jr. because of his dad, even before he passed at the track, but then after he passed at the track. I'm not going to say it's not it. I just wonder if that's too close to home, so we say that's it. Because here's the deal, too. It might mean a lot to Dale Jr., but I don't know if it means, like, the entire world to Jimmy Johnson, you know?
Okay.
The Super Bowl, obviously everybody's chasing the Super Bowl, but you know what? There's a lot of guys that don't win it and still go to the Hall of Fame and say, I had an unbelievable career.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't change. We have that conversation sometimes. Would you change the Hall of Fame career for the Super Bowl? A lot of guys would say no to that, by the way.
Correct. I mean, obviously, you make an argument for the Olympics, right? Because, I mean, you have world championships, you have all this stuff, you have collegiate championships, depending on the sport. But it's all about the Olympics, right? It's all about winning that gold medal.
I think the Olympics came to mind for me.
Mm-hmm.
The Olympics was one that was like, that might do it, right? What I think you have to get away from, and this is where I'm at, and I might be wrong, but I don't know if the team sports in the championships in team sports necessarily have the same just kind of pull and tug like the Masters has on a golfer, or, you know, maybe it's the French Open for Nadal, you know.
Yeah,
or
well, I was going to say,
that's
what I was going to say is
But I don't know if the
Wimbledon.
team sports do it because, again, team sports, it's like sometimes you were a big part of it, sometimes you weren't. Yeah, you appreciate the rings, no doubt about it, but was I a big part of that, right?
Yeah.
Again, would you trade a 10-year career making hundreds of millions of dollars and going to Canton, Ohio to trade that ring in? I think some would say yes.
Brent, let me ask you this one. What about the Heisman Trophy? Because we think about, like, listen, like MVP awards and all this stuff. Like, every single sport now, there's like a ceremony, right? They give out the MVP award.
Yeah.
But, like, the Heisman Trophy has always kind of been in the upper echelon, right? It's the ceremony. It's 4 guys in New York, I think, or 5 guys, whatever it is. And, you know, they speak on behalf of the players, and then the guy gives his speech. Like, to me, there's still a lot of pomp and circumstance revolving around the Heisman Trophy. No, I'm not saying it's the Masters. I'm just saying it's up there.
No, I think it's a good call. Here's the thing. I love the Heisman Trophy, sir. Like, as a kid and even in my early adult age, loved it. It's lost its luster a bit with me. That's just me. I'm not the athlete. I wonder if it's still what it was. Now, I give like Nissan and whatever the commercial campaign has done a fantastic job of kind of bringing it back to like an important relevance. You know, because of the commercials. Like, they've really done a good job with that campaign.
Yep.
But I think the one part about it, man, that's hard to say is, like, if Kyle Trask were to win the Heisman Trophy, it would be very emotional. It would be unbelievable. But I think he'd still rather win a national championship. I think he'd still rather be a top 5 draft pick or a first-round draft pick than win those things. I don't know for these golfers if there's an event they would rather win than the Masters.
It's a good call.
Some will say the U.S. Open. But I think that green jacket means so much to these guys, to most players, more than anything. I think they would trade 5. I think Dustin Johnson would trade 5 wins for that green jacket.
Brent, let me ask this before we, to take a break here. So, like, Dustin Johnson obviously put on a masterclass performance, shot 20 under, you know, and then beat the guy in second place by 5 strokes. Like, it was a dominating performance. And we sit here and say it was kind of boring on Sunday, right? Because there's no drama, I guess. And, I mean, I'm not sure what the consensus is, but I feel like no one's talking about Dustin Johnson right now. But how do we live in a world where if Russell Wilson throws 7 touchdowns, well, we're going to celebrate that. We're going to talk about that. If Kyler Murray throws, 6 touchdowns, we'll talk about that. Dustin Johnson comes out and absolutely dominates. And are we really talking about it?
No, but again, I think it's his personality.
Really?
He's a boring superstar. And by the way, that's okay. I'm not being critical of him. He's just kind of a boring superstar.
Wow.
I mean, that's what he is. You know?
Yeah.
If it's not Tiger, if it's not one of these young guns, we're probably not raving about it. You know? Now people in the golf world are raving about it. The guy's an extreme talent. He's unbelievable. He put on a show, played unbelievable golf. So they're talking about it. But I don't think the outside world. Listen, the outside world is on Monday morning at the water coolers talking more about Tiger's 10 on the 12th hole than they are about Dustin Johnson going 20 under at Augusta.
Well, keep in mind, too, they also had to go against the NFL. And, Kyler Murray had something to say about it. So it is what it is.
Of course. Give me one thing when we come back, and it can't be Kyler Murray. That's next on ESPN 690.
Appliances may work on your schedule, but they quit on theirs. At Atlantic Coast Appliance, we'll get your appliances back up and running in no time at all. Our factory-trained and certified technicians have repaired more than 100,000 appliances over the past 35 years, servicing Jacksonville to St. Augustine and Ponte Vedra with a 90-day warranty on parts and labor, plus a 100% satisfaction guarantee. When your appliances quit, we're ready to get started. For quality repair at a price that's fair, visit AtlanticCoastAppliance.com.
The pizza you'll soon be eating contains more than 55 years of tradition. Donato's Pizza started in Columbus, Ohio in 1963 with a commitment to serve delicious, fresh-made premium pizza. Donato's in Jax Beach is still proud to deliver their made-to-order, edge-to-edge goodness right to your door or at their convenient pickup window. Check out their unusually wide variety of options at 904donatos.com. It's no joke when they say they have something for everyone. That's 904donatos.com. Give it a try and see what you think.
ESPN 690 wants you to shop the 904. And by doing that, you keep most of the money and jobs right here on the First Coast. Plus, local businesses give our community its uniqueness and character that makes living on the First Coast so great.
Shop the 904.
Spay or neuter your pet. Help them live a longer, happy life. First Coast No More Homeless Pets has free and low-cost programs available now. Make your appointment today. Call 425-0005, 425-0005, or fcnmhp.org.
One of the easiest ways to offer local kids a great Christmas is through Jewish Family and Community Services. Help us make this holiday season shine. Jewish Family and Community Services. Here for giving, here for Jax.
Say hello to your new secret advertising weapon, your own branded mobile phone number. StarStar Mobile provisions vanity mobile numbers prefixed by StarStar, providing audiences an easy way to reach your business. Give it a try now by dialing StarStar Mobile from your mobile phone. That's StarStar Mobile.
ESPN 690 Sports Center Update.
Happy Monday. I'm Jake Mitchell. There is no joy in Jacksonville as the Jags lost their 8th straight yesterday. The Green Bay Packers pass rush was just too much for the Jags O-line to contain at the end of the game. The final score was 24-20. With this loss, Jags will have a losing record 8 of the 9 years Shad Khan has owned the team. The team hung in there for a while, though, with the Pack, but here's when things started to go south, according to head coach Doug Marrone.
We were able to get good field position on 2 drives that I thought maybe we should have came out with points, and we didn't come out with points on it. I thought we were running the ball well, but we couldn't continue to stay on the field in the first half on third downs, which were 0 for 4. I think that would have helped us, if we were able to pick those up, and they seemed like they were manageable at that time.
In college football, former UF head coach Will Muschamp was let go from the University of South Carolina after struggling to a 2-5 record. OC Mike Bobo will serve as the interim head coach. You're working from home and want to listen to ESPN? Tell your smart speaker to play ESPN 690.
Hey everyone, this is Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Hope you catch the show Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. on 10 different platforms. But if you missed the show today, you missed this. Are the Buffalo Bills for real?
I think they are. I mean, I've been a big Josh Allen supporter.
How about his start?
Oh, yeah. Hey, I'm not surprised.
I guess Jalen Ramsey wasn't right about him being trash. Subscribe to the podcast and check the show out on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Get the podcast daily. All you have to do is search ESPN 690 in your podcast app. Hey everybody, this is Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Hope you catch the show Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. But if you can't catch it, or if you want to go back and listen again, check out the Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 podcast. Just search ESPN 690 in your podcast app.
The play was designed for me to get out left. They had a guy containing, had to make him miss. And then, as funny as it sounds, I felt like, it was the only person I saw down there was Hop.
let it go, let him give him a chance. And, it's funny, everybody, always black gloves rising, from everybody. It was like, it was a group of 4 people, and all they saw was black gloves. So I'm just glad he caught the ball.
A wordsmith, a quarterback, a once-in-a-generational type player. Don't worry, Brent. Those goosebumps.
No more mentions of that guy.
Those goosebumps will go away. Don't worry. And I'm like, you know how we do on this show. Tuesdays, it's going to be our quarterback grade day, and we both have to get some sleep tonight because it's going to be a big day tomorrow. Okay. Do what now, Brent? What?
I'm not mentioning his name. I said his names can't be mentioned here in the last thing.
That's fine, man. I'll say Kyler Murray all day, man.
I mean,
it's all good.
We did enough for our friends in the desert today.
Hey, let's go ahead and end this show like we started. Kyler Murray.
Let's see. We have, by the way, Jags Report Live coming up tonight, 7 o'clock on Fox 30. Our Athlete of the Week poll will be out after 40,000-plus votes last week. Check it out at ESPN690.com. Congratulations to Emma Grimm from Fleming Island for having a lot of friends who voted for her.
That's awesome.
And Live Local Loud coming up next. FSU Coaches Show tonight at 9 o'clock. We didn't talk much Florida State. We will. Listen, come on. There's really not a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
I did like
really.
the fact they
Purdy,
played Chubba Purdy,
yeah.
and he looked a little better as the game went along.
Well,
hey, listen, Florida State fans, basketball season is almost here.
Exactly. But, Brent, let's be honest. Yeah, they played Chubba Purdy, and that's good going forward. But why did they play Chubba Purdy? Like, what's up with Jordan Travis?
Yeah, we got. I mean, what's up with everybody at Florida State? With all the stuff going on there last week, it was pretty interesting. All right, how about a little give me one thing from the weekend?
Am I going first, or you want to go first? What's
you
up?
Go first. Go
All
ahead.
right, so the NHL released their reverse retro jerseys, and it's kind of like the past takes on the present. And every one of the NHL teams has a really cool jersey. Like the Kings have like Lakers colors now. It's cool. The Wild went with like the old Minnesota North Stars colors, and it's great. The Detroit Red Wings. I'm not sure how this meeting went down. Hey, let's take our standard jersey and make it into a practice jersey. It's the worst thing I've ever seen, and I'm bummed out. I'm so bummed out. Like, literally all they changed was instead of having red stripes, boom, gray stripes. $250, spend it right now. Go and get it. You're going to buy it because you're a Wings fan. It is what it is.
I'm looking at the jerseys.
Yeah.
And
by the way, shout out to everybody, our fans in Quebec right now because they're rioting because the Avalanche retro ones, it's the Quebec Nordiques logo, which obviously if you're a fan of Quebec, you're not liking that. That's kind of a punch in the face to you guys.
You know what's funny is I can't even make out all the teams like what they are.
Yeah.
Because some of them are so off.
Well, there's the sword one is the Las Vegas Knights. That one I got a little confused with. It's like 2 swords.
I think that what the one looks the coolest to me, but I'm trying to see what it is the it's the tribute to the Mighty Ducks.
See, that one's a little too aggressive for my liking. Like, I get it. You went above and beyond. I got to give a shout out. And listen, no one cares about this team. And I'm the first to attest to this. The Florida Panthers. I dig it. I kind of want one. Have you seen the Florida Panthers one, Brent?
I'm looking at it right now. Yeah. Florida Panthers.
Yeah, I like that, man.
That's a good logo.
You can tell the Flyers really stepped out of their comfort zone.
I know. Can kind of change in the sleeves a little bit. But it's like I said, the Wings literally just changed the red stripe to a gray stripe.
Yeah.
And then they had that stupid video where it's like, we represent, it's like the hype video. We're representing tradition here. The gray is supposed to mean back in the. Then get out of here. You didn't do anything.
Yeah. By the way, the Penguins aren't too far off from that, too.
That's a good point.
And the Bruins, it looks like the original 6 was like, screw this thing. We ain't doing this.
We're not doing this. We got too much pride.
Montreal. I mean, the original 6 basically said, we ain't doing it. I mean, well, that's because that is them. Like, what do they have retro?
That's a good point. That's a good point. That's a good point.
I mean, so I guess in fairness, they really had nowhere to go.
Yeah. But what'd you say? Which one's your favorite one? I'm going the Kings, I think. Either the Kings or the Wild.
I actually like the Ducks.
Okay. Okay.
Nashville's isn't bad either.
That's your opinion.
Yellow's a tough one to win.
It is a tough one to win. Absolutely.
I'll tell you, even the Rangers isn't bad. I mean, it's okay.
No, I mean, the Rangers, I'm reminded a little bit of like the old school Wayne Gretzky type years. I understand that one.
Yeah. All right. Hey, Mike, give me one thing. I was going all over the place. I haven't watched more TV in my life than I watched this weekend.
Okay.
Which was weird. So I was going to do that, but I was like, yeah, whatever. You know what I thought was awesome? And this guy's doing an amazing job. And my buddy's a big fan of the Hoosiers. And he says Tom Allen is the perfect guy for that program. And did you see the moment where his son got hurt?
I did, yeah.
And I just thought that was pretty, tough guy football coach.
Yep.
Took a moment to be a dad on the field. And that guy seems like he's doing everything right now for Indiana. Here's the thing about Indiana, too. Does a lot of people don't like Indiana basketball. Does anybody not like Indiana football? Like, how many people are rooting for Indiana this week against Ohio State?
It's a good call.
I think a lot.
It's a great call, yeah.
Now, they're 3-touchdown underdogs. I don't know if they can pull it off.
Yeah, but you never know. But, listen, you know how you kind of circle those games when the season starts? Who circled Indiana, Ohio State? Honestly.
It's a wacky year.
Is College Game Day going to be there or not? Or are they going to be at the Oklahoma State, Oklahoma?
I didn't see.
Probably.
They might be there. I didn't see where
Unbelievable.
they're going. They won't be in Tallahassee for the Clemson game. I can promise you that.
Ooh, yeah.
Hey, Live Local Loud's coming up next. That will do it here on a Monday. Had a lot of fun. We'll get back at it tomorrow as well. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. We'll see you on TV tonight, 7 o'clock, Fox 30 for Jags Report Live.
The Seminoles are here.
Ducks anybody got more. Good shot again. Walker has gone crazy. Noles win it all. The ACC Championship.